Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Wuhun. Sign in with the Holy Dragon of Light at the beginning. Chapter 81. Although Su Xiao was sarcastic on the surface, the full moon attacks released by the demon were continuous and he really couldn't find any loopholes to counterattack. Moreover, Yuan Yu's damage was astonishing, far exceeding Feng Xiaoshan's 36 consecutive slashes, and it was impossible to tell how many times Yuan Yu had rotated with the naked eye in a snap of his fingers. Just such frequent attacks were enough to show how powerful it was. Unfortunately, his target is Su Xiao, a cheating monster. Su Xiao slowly raised his left hand, and a blood mist darker than the red mist appeared. Bibi Dong, who was watching the battle, had focused all his attention on Su Xiao's left hand. This must be what Zhu Duluo said about Su Xiao's move, which is still astonishingly powerful even without the addition of soul power. The blood mist blended into the scales covering Su Xiao's left hand. The originally light golden dragon scales instantly turned into blood red, and the intimidation revealed in them even surpassed the demonic red mist. Dragon Claw. A bloody divine dragon appeared, roaring and crashing into the rotating full moon. There was only a sound of metal breaking, and the demon's moon blade actually broke. A full moon without weapons is nothing but appearance. There was another dragon roar, and the red mist that originally covered most of the field was dispelled. This was not the result of Xie Yu and Hu Liena taking the initiative to release the martial soul fusion skill, but Su Xiao's forceful break. Faced with such strong pressure, continuing to maintain the charm will consume soul power. Xie Yu and Hu Liena separated. Both of them had lost most of their soul power and were panting heavily. The third soul skill, Light Healing. The Golden Scepter Soul Master of Wuhun Palace released the soul skill to restore the soul power of Xie Yu and Hu Liena. But Su Xiao still maintains about 70% of his soul power. After the red mist lifted, in addition to seeing Xie Yu and Hu Liena, Su Xiao happened to see Tang San and Nangong Yu fighting fiercely with the 5 Yans. "Yuer, mistress, come back," Su Xiao greeted. Tang San immediately nodded in agreement, and under the control of his blue-silver grass, the Shrek formation quickly gathered. "A Xiao, are you okay?" Nangong Yu asked. "They are too rubbish, not challenging at all," Su Xiao said arrogantly. Xie Yu and Hu Liena heard Su Xiao's words clearly, and they had no choice but to look angry. "Restore the big sausage." Oscar made 6 large sausages for everyone to restore their soul power. After Su Xiao swallowed the big sausage in 2 mouthfuls, he said, "Xiao, here's another pink sausage. Rongrong will help me. I'll finish them off in 1 move." Oscar recited a soul spell and a hyperactive pink sausage appeared. After Su Xiao ate it, he entered a hyperactive state and all attributes increased by 10%. The 9 treasures have names, and the third one is called Soul. The 3rd floor of Ning Rongrong's 9 treasure glazed pagoda shot out a stream of light and injected it into Su Xiao's body, increasing her soul power by 50%. Su Xiao was still in dragon form at this time, and her light attributes and attack power increased by 100%. Under the triple amplification, his 4th soul ring shone with brilliance, and its majestic soul power swept the entire venue. The 4th soul skill, the Dragon King, breaks the evil rift and superimposes it to dominate the world. Su Xiao cast 4 golden hand seals in a row, and when he rushed towards the 7 people in Wuhun Hall, he controlled it and transformed into a huge bright holy dragon. The powerful deterrent has made Xie Yu and others lose the idea of resistance, and can only subconsciously choose defense. But it's nothing more than a mantis trying to act like a chariot. Under the impact of the Dragon King's evil break, all 7 people in the Wuhun Palace flew backwards and fell to the ground screaming in pain. At the same time, Su Xiao stepped on the ghost shadow and was in front of Yan in an instant. Just as he was about to make a move, Su Xiao stepped on his chest and was unable to move. "You lost. According to our agreement, shouldn't you say something?" Although Yan was seriously injured, he could still speak. He was about to refute Su Xiao, but when he met Su Xiao's eyes, a sense of surrender spread throughout his body. "Su, Father Su." Yan seemed to have difficulty controlling himself as he spoke out this shameful title. Su Xiaojia's King of the World was prepared for Yan. "You are very arrogant, but I will not allow anyone more arrogant than me to exist in this world." Although everyone watching the battle in Wuhun Palace sighed at Su Xiao's strength, Yan was still of the golden generation no matter what. He was so proud in the past, but now he can actually say. After the game, let Yan go to Xinglo to become a cardinal. Bibi Dong said solemnly. Su Xiao not only slapped Yan in the face, but also made Wuhun Palace lose face. If this son is not eliminated, he will become a trouble in the future. At this time, Xiaoyu and Huliena, who were seriously injured and fell to the ground, also saw Bibi Dong's hint and indicated that they could admit defeat. Xiaoyu covered her chest and stood up reluctantly. She was about to raise her hands to signal, "We." Just before he finished speaking, a dazzling light appeared from behind him, which seemed to be more dazzling than the sun. Wait a minute, the Wuhundian representative team hasn't lost yet. Everyone focused on the girl who was speaking. She was Zhang Ping, a member of the 47th Agility Attack System Soul Sect. Her martial spirit was the Golden Waist Feiyan. It's just that she originally only had one pair of wings, but now she has 3 pairs of wings, a total of 6 wings, and a looming shadow of an angel appears behind her. The 4 soul rings that were originally beating around her body were actually increased by 2 black 10,000-year soul rings. Soul Emperor. When everyone was surprised, Zhang Ping's appearance also changed. She originally had short black hair, but turned into long blonde hair, and her appearance became somewhat heroic. After the subsequent changes in her facial features, the girl now can be called stunning. It can be vaguely seen that her appearance is somewhat similar to Pope Bibi Dong. Saint Zhu Duluo, Ghost Duluo and other people with status in Wuhun Palace all recognized this girl. On the other hand, Pope Bibi Dong frowned slightly, seeming a little displeased. Seraph Martial Spirit, is she a descendant of the Pope? Yu Xiaogang looked at Bibi Dong indifferently, and he could naturally tell Qian Runshui's identity. At this time, everyone in Shrek on the field was stunned, because the powerful deterrent of Qian Runshui's 6-winged martial spirit and the gap in soul power had left them breathless. Only Su Xiao, Tang San and Nangong Yu could still remain calm. I thought it was a crushing game, but now it has become exciting. Su Xiao said excitedly. Facing the sudden appearance of a powerful enemy, except for Su Xiao, Tang San and others were still in a state of confusion. Referee, what's going on? Dai Mubai asked loudly. Qian Runshui's sudden appearance made it difficult for the referee to deal with it. He was born in the Wuhun Palace and naturally recognized Qian Runshui's angelic Wuhun. The referee looked at Pope Bibi Dong. The woman's jaw moved slightly, obviously agreeing with Qian Runshui's behavior. The contestants from Wuhun Palace meet the competition requirements, and the competition will continue. The referee announced. Tang San and others all took a breath of cold air. The strength of the 3 soul kings of the Golden Generation was enough to shock people, and now another soul emperor appeared. This is an angel martial spirit, a rare God-given martial spirit. A soul master with this kind of martial spirit can have innate soul power up to level 20, so it's not surprising that she cultivated to the soul emperor before the age of 25. Lydia Su explained. Then what do we do now? Oscar asked. Several people focused their attention on Su Xiao. As the strongest person in the team, he was the only one who could compete with Qian Runshui. Fight, she is the only soul emperor now, and the championship must belong to our Shrek. Su Xiao said confidently. Encouraged by Su Xiao, others also became confident. After all, the 7 of them were still in peak condition under the effect of Oscar's restoration of the big sausage. Xiao, Zuqing and I are going to explore this woman's true identity first. Dai Mubai was full of fighting spirit. Dai Mubai and Zhu Zuqing clasped their hands, and their pale and bright black soul powers began to blend. A tiger roar was heard, and a huge netherworld white tiger appeared in the center of the field. Wrong, Xiao Ao, assist, Xiao San looks for opportunities to control, Yuer's soul skill feints. Su Xiao commanded. At this time, the 7 people worked together, and the soul rings lit up one after another. 9 treasures have names, one is strength, the second is speed, the third is soul, and the fourth is control. Ning Rongrong's 9 treasure glazed pagoda released 4 streams of light that were injected into the body of the netherworld white tiger. The 4th soul skill, hyperactive pink sausage. Oscar recited the soul spell and fed hyperactive pink sausage to the netherworld white tiger, and a pink halo appeared on the huge tiger body. After double assistance, several important attributes of the Netherworld White Tiger have increased by 60%, and can already touch the threshold of the Soul Emperor. At this time, Qian Runshui, who had a cold expression, stayed put and snorted with disdain. Then the fifth 10,000-year soul ring that was beating around Qian Runshui's body lit up, and the majestic soul power was released instantly. The fifth soul skill, the sacred sword. Qian Runshui condensed a long sword shining with divine light in her hand, but at its core was the additional attribute of the angel spirit, the sacred fire. It's just a kitten. Facing the tiger palm slapped down by the Netherworld White Tiger, Qian Runshui raised her sacred sword and struck it without hesitation. Only a painful cry was heard, and the Nether White Tiger's palms were instantly ignited by the sacred fire, and it began to continuously erode the Nether White Tiger. The third soul skill, spider web binding. Upon seeing this, Tang San prepared to save the Netherworld White Tiger. A large amount of blue-silver grass began to surround Qian Runshui, but she did not resist. The second soul skill, Holy Light Dragon Head. The third soul skill, Golden Dragon Head. Su Xiao and Nangong Yu released soul skills to attack Qian Runshui at the same time. A light golden divine dragon and a golden divine dragon were thrown down at the same time, rushing towards Qian Runshui, who was already controlled by Lan Yinsao. Just when everyone thought the attack could hit, Qian Runshui's second soul ring shined. Holy light is constantly gathering around her, accompanied by sacred fire. The blue-silver grass that Tang San originally possessed was instantly melted, and at the same time, the soul skills released by Su Xiao and Nangong Yu were also blocked by this sacred fire. Is this your strength? You all must die. Qian Runshui was instantly filled with killing intent. The sixth soul skill, Angel's Roar. Qian Runshui began to fight back, and all the soul power of the sixth soul ring gathered on her head. She opened her mouth slightly, as if an angel was about to announce God's will. But what it brought to Su Xiao was the most powerful mental attack. All the soul power of a 10,000-year soul ring was completely transformed into spiritual shock by Qian Runshui. The Netherworld White Tiger closest to her had its spirit fusion skills cancelled due to mental shock. Dai Mubai and Zhu Zuqing held their heads and fainted in pain. Ning Rongrong and Oscar, who had weaker soul power, also suffered considerable mental damage, and their martial souls had been forced to be withdrawn. Only Su Xiao, Tang San and Nangong Yu persisted. After Qian Runshui's soul skill ended, 4 people in Shrek instantly lost their ability to fight, and Su Xiao and Tang San also looked embarrassed. Only Nangong Yu remained in peak condition, and it seemed that Qian Runshui's mental impact had not had any impact on her. Su Xiao and Tang San were both panting heavily, but this was Qian Runshui's sixth soul skill after all, and she couldn't release it a second time in a short time. She has at least 2 soul bones, otherwise it would be impossible to kill the Netherworld White Tiger with one sword. Su Xiao guessed Qian Runshui's overall strength. What to do next? Nangong Yu asked. Su Xiao and Tang San responded to her with practical actions. Both of them released their external soul bones, and the next thing they could do was fight with all their strength. But Su Xiao's next move amazed everyone present. He hugged Nangong Yu into his arms and whispered, "Yuer, help Mubai and the 4 of them down first, and then find an opportunity to take Xiao away first." A trace of panic flashed in Nangong Yu's eyes, and he asked tentatively, "Xiao, what do you mean?" The corners of Su Xiao's mouth turned up slightly and she said, "After all, I was raised by Uncle Hao, and the girl I like will naturally be influenced by him, but I didn't expect you to actually show up. Pope Bibi Dong's strength has reached the limit of Duluo. She can easily see through your and Xiao Wu's identities. The reason why she hasn't made a move yet is just waiting for the game to end." Quote. Nangong Yu was stunned and pushed Su Xiao away, and a stream of spiritual power was transmitted into Su Xiao's consciousness. "Xiao, since they have seen through my and Xiao Wu's identity, will Wuhun Palace let us leave easily? I'm waiting for you in this battle." Quote. In the eyes of others, this was the last farewell between Su Xiao and Nangong Yu, and he seemed to be preparing to fight Qian Runshui to the death. But it was just a confession between the two of them. Su Xiao's memory couldn't help but recall the scene after absorbing the dark gold Terraclaw bear soul ring that day, that unicorn-like soul beast. "We seem to have met somewhere." Su Xiao's lips moved slightly. Nangong Yu's body is also a soul beast, but she is not like Xiao Wu, who took 100,000 years to transform into a human form. Her true body is the Emperor's auspicious beast, the three-eyed golden leopard. Although it is only a few thousand years old, it possesses the power of destiny of the star forest, making her equivalent to a 100,000-year-old soul beast. Shaosan, go all out. Tang San nodded slightly, and the 8 spider spears behind him were already activated. With Qian Runshui's power, the control effect of his blue-silver grass is already minimal. Even the 10,000-year soul skill blue-silver cage may not be able to withstand her sacred fire. A Xiao, I want to use. Tang San looked at his left hand. At this time, Su Xiao couldn't help but think of what Tang Hao taught him in those 2 days, as well as his final instructions. Shaosan, I'll do it this time. Su Xiao stopped Tang San, but he himself released the Holy Light Divine Dragon transformation, condensing a dragon-marked ocean hammer in his hand, and as his soul power increased, it reached 500 kilograms. Is that the Clear Sky Hammer? As the mainland's #1 offensive weapon spirit, the shadow of the Clear Sky Hammer always shrouded the spirit hall, so they instantly recognized the Clear Sky Hammer transformed by Su Xiao. Tang San, it seems that he is the evil son of the Haoshan sect. Who is his father? Bibi Dong said gloomily. Since Su Xiao released the Clear Sky Hammer, everyone in the Wuhun Palace can definitely guess that Tang San is the successor of the Clear Sky sect, just because he did not inherit the Clear Sky Hammer spirit. Little did they know that Tang San and Bibi Dong both had twin martial spirits. Under Su Xiao's control, his 4 soul rings had gradually moved from around his body to the dragon pattern Haoshan hammer, shining with light and rhythmic. Melting ring. With an angry roar, Su Xiao's 4 soul rings gradually blended and merged into one, and finally all the turbulent soul power was injected into the dragon-marked Haoshan hammer. You are stupid, do you think that the Haoshan hammer condensed with soul power can be compared with the real weapon soul? Qian Runshui said sarcastically. Of course, Su Xiao understood what Qian Runshui said. If he used all the powerful energy of the melting ring to release the 4th soul skill or the dragon god claw, it would be even more powerful than this. But since he made such a choice, it was naturally because he had more powerful means. 9 Ju of Haoshan. Su Xiao suddenly rushed forward, raised the dragon pattern Haoshan hammer and threw it at Qian Runshui. Qian Runshui fought with the sacred sword, and with the increase of the 2nd and 3rd soul rings, she believed that her strength would not lose to Su Xiao even in close combat, not to mention she still had a right arm soul bone. But when Su Xiao hit her with the first hammer, she knew she was wrong. Every time Su Xiao exerts force, he is very particular and very special, and others cannot imitate it. Tang San, who was watching the battle from the sidelines, could see at a glance Su Xiao's way of exerting force. This was a stronger method of exerting force than the random cloak hammer technique that Tang Hao taught him. And his actual combat ability was extremely strong. Tang San guessed that during the days when Yu Xiaogang told everyone that Su Xiao was going to retreat, he might have been called away for special training by his father. It was these Haoshan Juhui that was taught to Su Xiao. Su Xiao's attack, which was like a gust of wind and rain, made it difficult for Qian Runshui to resist. She was constantly retreating and could only rely on her own flying ability to avoid the battle. However, Su Xiao has the blessing of the ghost shadow, which allows her to move extremely fast and rely on the wall to bounce. If Qian Runshui wants to find a chance to counterattack, she will inevitably suffer a fierce blow from Su Xiao. Su Xiao, your ring-melting soul power will be exhausted soon, and you will lose. Qian Runshui knew that the reason why Su Xiao was so strong now was not only the special method of exerting force, but also the soul power support brought by the melting ring was also indispensable. As long as he can avoid the battle and wait until Su Xiao's soul power is exhausted, he can win without a fight. When there is a focus in the field of vision, there will be a blind spot. Tang San, who had not participated in the battle, moved. The focus of the previous battle was entirely on Su Xiao and Qian Runshui. The two of them increased their strength through their own methods. Su Xiao could compete with the Soul Emperor's Qian Runshui with only level 46 soul power. And because of their powerful methods, this battle is completely a Soul Saint level battle without the true body of the martial soul. But Tang San was ignored. Control the crane and capture the dragon. Tang San released all his soul power and used Tangmin's special skills. With the amplifying effect of the 8 spider spears, Tang San's soul power could reach that of a soul king, so his controlling crane and capturing dragon could only control Qian Runshui for less than a second. But that's enough. Tang San used the 8 spider spears to climb on the wall of the venue, and by using the force to accumulate strength, he jumped close to Qian Runshui. At the same time, the 8 spider spear stretched out and stabbed directly into Qian Runshui's back. Ah! Qian Runshui whined and felt the soul power in her back begin to drain away, and there was a vague tingling sensation. She seemed to be poisoned. Tang San's 8 spider spear not only contains the poison of the man-faced demon spider, but it can also absorb the opponent's soul power to replenish its own. It was precisely with this characteristic that Tang San once defeated Yu Tianeng. A bug as disgusting as that woman. Qian Runshui suddenly burst out with soul power and directly bounced Tang San away. At this moment, her blonde hair had fallen apart, and the 6 wings behind her became illusory, like an angel about to fall. Although part of her soul power was absorbed by Tang San, as the Soul Emperor, Qian Runshui's soul power was deep enough, so this would not affect her powerful attacks. At the same time, Su Xiao also took this opportunity to get close to Qian Runshui. At this time, Su Xiaorong Huan's soul power was about to be exhausted. He could only hit him one more time. If it didn't work, Su Xiao, who had exhausted his soul power, could only be crushed by Qian Runshui. Get rid of you nasty bug first. Qian Runshui raised her sacred sword and slashed at Tang San. Facing the attack of the sacred fire, Tang San could only use the hardest 8 spider spear to resist it. In an instant, the heartbreaking pain made Tang San convulse, and the 8 spider spear was cut off by Qian Runshui. As an external soul bone, the 8 spider spear has been completely integrated with Tang San, so it is no different from his bones. The pain of having the bones cut off directly can be imagined. And because Tang San had absorbed Qian Runshui's soul power, the sacred fire in it kept burning the cross-section of the 8 spider spear. Qian Runshui's attack wasn't over yet. She seemed to be going crazy and launched another continuous attack, cutting off Tang San's remaining 7 8 spider spears. At this time, Tang San was unable to fight back. Go to hell, you scoundrel of the Haoshan sect. Just when Qian Runshui was about to give Tang San a fatal blow, Su Xiao arrived. The last blow of Haoshan Juhui hit Qian Runshui hard on the lower abdomen, causing the angel to vomit blood and fly backwards. Su Xiao himself was also unable to maintain his martial spirit due to lack of physical strength. However, he and Tang San borrowed each other's strength and could barely stand. Qian Runshui, who was quickly swallowed by Su Xiao's last blow, waved the seraph again and looked at Su Xiao and Tang San with contempt in a judgmental manner. Although a lot of blood spilled from the corner of her mouth, she was in much better condition than Su Xiao and Tang San after all. The 4th soul skill, Judgment. Qian Runshui's soul ring lit up, and 36 lightsabers burning with sacred fire condensed above Su Xiao and Tang San's heads. As long as they fall down, they will definitely die in their current state. Shrek admits defeat, Flanders shouted instantly. But all he got was a cold look from Bibi Dong. Wuhundian was already murderous at this moment and wanted Qian Runshui to kill Su Xiao and Tang San directly. Flanders and others were just about to release their soul power to resist, including the Qibao glazed sect led by Ning Fengji, who also wanted to help Su Xiao and Tang San, but the people from Wuhun Palace had unknowingly surrounded them. The last move, if Su Xiao and Tang San can withstand it, I will naturally let them leave safely. Bibi Dong said with great authority. Lu Erlong and others were ready to fight for Su Xiao and Tang San, but Yu Xiaoging stopped them. Believe in a Xiao and Xiao San, they don't just rely on soul power. Seeing Yu Xiaoging's confident eyes, Lu Erlong and the others also calmed down. Yu Xiaoging treated Su Xiao and Tang San like his own children, and of course he would not make fun of their lives. At this moment, Su Xiao and Tang San moved. Facing the 36 lightsabers used by Qian Runshui to judge the two of them, 36 purple sharp objects also appeared under their control. That's the fragment of the 8 spider spears. In an instant, Qian Runshui's judgment fell, and the 8 spider spear fragments controlled by Su Xiao and Tang San also attacked Qian Runshui at the same time. Facing Qian Runshui's attacks, Su Xiao and Tang San used their remaining strength to dodge most of the attacks. However, The scope of the trial was so wide that the two of them could not completely avoid it. Su Xiao could only lift the external soul bone of the dark gold terraclaw bear and forcefully resist it. Under such a soul skill attack, Su Xiao was also seriously injured. On the other hand, Qian Runshui easily blocked the fragments of the 8 spider spears, seemingly not causing any harm to her. The end of the powerful crossbow. Just when Qian Runshui controlled the other lightsabers that had not dissipated, and tried Su Xiao and Tang San again, she was suddenly attacked continuously. The Tang Sect's hidden weapon techniques rank 10th, Bat Wing Reincarnation. The 36 8 spider spear fragments shot by Su Xiao and Tang San, after being blocked by Qian Runshui, hit the wall and bounced back at a precise angle. Qian Runshui didn't care about these at all, and under the cooperative control of Su Xiao and Tang San, Batwing Samsara could carry out at least 3 more waves of attacks. It's a hidden weapon. Ah Xiao and third brother used fragments of the 8 spider spear as hidden weapons, Xiao Wu said excitedly. Moreover, Qian Runshui had been poisoned by the 8 spider spears before, although she used her soul power to resist and forced part of the poison into her soul bones. However, her body was continuously cut by fragments of the 8 spider spear soul bones. Every part of her body was poisoned, and she could only use all her soul power to resist the poison. At this time, Du Gubo in the audience said, "Your Majesty, Tang San's poison is formed by combining 3 kinds of poisons. Even I can't detoxify it. Only Tang San can detoxify it. If after a while, the Saintess, I'm afraid His Highness is no longer here." Bibi Dong frowned. Even if Du Gubo didn't speak, she had said before that if Qian Runshui's trial was over, the game would be over. But now, the two of them fought back desperately, forcing Qian Runshui into danger. Zhu Duluo glanced at Xie Yu, who had already stepped down to heal his injuries, and said unwillingly, "Wuhundian representative team, admit defeat." "We won," Ma Hongjun and others exclaimed. The entire Wuhun city was also excited. Wuhun Palace's history of dominating the Continental Soul Master Elite competition was broken, and this was despite the appearance of someone as strong as Qian Runshui. Su Xiao and Tang San looked at each other and smiled. The two of them were extremely weak, but they fulfilled their promise. The championship belongs to Shrek. At this time, Yu Xiaogang and Bibi Dong looked at each other. Both of them looked cold, but no matter what, Bibi Dong would definitely keep her promise. Even though Tang San's identity as Tang Hao's son was already revealed, Wuhun Palace could only hand over the reward of 3 soul bones and let Shrek leave unharmed under the watchful eyes of the 2 empires. Everyone excitedly picked up Tang San and Su Xiao, and threw them into the air excitedly, celebrating the victory. However, Su Xiao and Tang San still had a string of tension in their hearts. Shrek is the champion of this elite competition, but the competition is not over yet. There is still one last link left to award the prize. 3,000-year-old soul bones. With the cooperation of Platinum Bishop Solace, Su Xiao, as Shrek's representative, received 3 10,000-year soul bones from Bibi Dong. One of them is as old as 60,000 years old. Su Xiao brought the soul bones back to Shrek. The 3 soul bones were the right arm of burning fire, the left leg of chasing wind, and the last 60,000-year-old spiritual wisdom skull. At the suggestion of Yu Xiaogang and Su Xiao, the 3 soul bones belonged to Ma Hongjun, Zhu Zuqing and Tang San respectively, while the 10,000-year soul bone that Su Xiao received from Xinyan was given to Ning Rongrong. After the 4 people successfully absorbed the soul bones, Bibi Dong decided to lecture everyone as the Pope. Su Xiao and Tang San looked at each other, knowing that a new storm was coming. Nangong Yu and Xiao Wu, who were at the center of the whirlpool, also frowned. Facing Wuhun Palace's conspiracy, they had no choice but to fall out. After Bibi Dong said a set of righteous words to everyone, she suddenly sneered and ordered, "Catch them too." "His Majesty the Pope, what are you doing?" Yu Xiaogang was the first to stand up and ask. "These 2 girls are 100,000-year-old soul beasts in human form." Bibi Dong announced the news directly. Wuhun Palace has sent men to surround Shrek, and Zhu Duluo and Ghost Duluo are watching from the side. The eyes of everyone present changed when they looked at Nangong Yu and Xiao Wu. 100,000-year soul beast transformed into 100,000-year soul beast, which meant 100,000-year soul ring and 100,000-year soul bone. "Get out!" Su Xiao shouted angrily, swung his sky-searing claw and killed the soldiers at the front of Wuhun Palace. At this time, Dai Mubai and others also protected Nangong Yu and Xiao Wu in the center, assuming an offensive posture. Boss Dai, you. Tang San looked at everyone with emotion. Stop standing there stupidly, we Shrek will always be one. I don't care whether Nangong Yu and Xiao Wu are humans or spirit beasts. I only know that they will always be a part of Shrek. Dai Mubai shouted. Seeing the little monsters united like this, Shrek's teachers naturally couldn't lag behind. Lu Erlong has long regarded Nangong Yu and Xiao Wu as his daughters. How could he sit idly by and watch his daughter being bullied by her love rival? The golden iron triangle of Flanders, Lu Erlong and Yu Xiaogang gathered together, and the martial soul fusion skills can be activated at any time. And protecting Shrek at the outermost edge is Dugu Bo's green scale snake emperor. Zhu Duluo asked, Old Poison, do you dare to go against Wuhun Palace? Dugu Bo chuckled. Zhuhuaguan, I am a guest of Shrek Academy. Now you want to bully Su Xiao and Tang San, and I won't agree to it. But this time Bibi Dong revealed her soul ring. Her 9th soul ring was a blood-red 100,000-year-old soul ring, which was the soul ring from Xiao Wu's mother. You don't overestimate your capabilities. Bibi Dong looked at Dugu Bo with disdain. She shot out a deep purple soul power and instantly suppressed Dugu Bo, who was also a titled Duluo. Don't be afraid, there are still us. Ning Fengji led Sword Duluo and Bone Duluo to protect Shrek again. Sect Master Ning, is the Qibao glazed sect going against Wuhun Palace? Bibi Dong threatened as she tapped her scepter. The scene had reached a tense level, but Ning Fengji still replied gracefully, His Majesty the Pope, my daughter is at Shrek Academy. She was bullied, and Ning had to take action. After hearing this, Bibi Dong's face instantly darkened, and she said viciously, Anyone who resists will be killed without mercy. After receiving the order, Yu Guan and Gui Mei took action without hesitation. Suddenly, a giant hammer came down, and the incomparable momentum made Yu Guan and Gui Mei, two titled Duluo, feel afraid and had to retreat. How dare a chrysanthemum and a kid hurt a Xiao and Xiao San? A middle-aged man wearing a shabby black robe lifted the heavy clear sky hammer. His power was enough to make anyone present feel palpitations. Tang Hao took off his covering robe, revealing his vicissitudes of life. Dad, Tang San was the first to shout excitedly. Then others also realized that the strong man in front of them who dared to challenge Wuhun Palace was Hooshin Duluo. HMPH. Tang Hao. Bibi Dong was filled with anger. Now that you're here, don't even think about leaving. Bibi Dong's soul ring was radiant, especially the 100,000-year soul ring, which completely overshadowed the strength of several other titled Duluo. Just you. Tang Hao raised the clear sky hammer with one arm, and 9 soul rings rose from his feet, the outermost of which was also a 100,000-year soul ring shining with red light. Bibi Dong, I destroyed the Pope's palace today, how can you still have the nerve to be the Pope? Tang Hao's 9 soul rings were all transferred to the clear sky hammer, and the soul rings emitting majestic soul power were beating on the handle of the clear sky hammer. Ah Xiao, Xiaosan, you see clearly, in addition to ring fusion, there are more powerful ways to use soul rings. Tang Hao released the true form of the weapon soul, and the huge Hooshin hammer appeared. Then 9 soul rings exploded one after another, and the soul power merged into Hooshin's body like a huge wave. Tang Hao, how dare you? Following Bibi Dong's angry rebuke, she led Yu Guan and Gui Mei to resist the incarnation of Hooshin that was smashing towards the Pope's palace. Once the Pope's palace is destroyed, the majesty of the Wuhun Palace in Duluo continent will plummet, and the layout of these years will be in vain. Big Sumeru hammer. Under Tang Hao's full blow, even Bibi Dong, Yu Guan, and Gui Mei joined forces, but it was difficult to deal with it. However, the Wuhun Palace is not only the Pope Palace. I saw that the Elder Hall, one of the 3 main halls of Lui Mountain, came with 4 powerful soul powers and could barely resist Tang Hao's great Sumeru hammer. Boom! There was a violent explosion and the scattered brilliance made it difficult for everyone to open their eyes. Not only around the Pope's palace, the entire Wuhun city could feel the impact of this collision of soul power. When the light dissipated, Tang Hao, Su Xiao, Tang San, Nangong Yu and Xiao Wu all disappeared. Only Tang Hao's deep echo was left in the air. Bibi Dong, see you later. Master, Flanders, thank you for your teachings to a Xiao and Xiao San. Tang owes you. Quote. After Tang Hao and others disappeared, Bibi Dong glared at the Shrek crowd. When she looked at Yu Xiaogang, she clenched her silver teeth, not knowing how to vent her anger. Although she saved the Pope's palace, Her Majesty as the Pope had disappeared when Tang Hao's hammer came down. His Majesty the Pope, what should we do with these people? Platinum Bishop Solace asked. Let them get out of Wuhun city immediately. When Su Xiao woke up, she found that she was in a forest. Tang Hao was lighting a fire, and Tang San was still unconscious, with Nangong Yu standing by his side, and Xiao Wu looking at Tang San worriedly. Su Xiao and Nangong Yu looked at each other, their eyes full of tears, and they hugged each other unconsciously. Xiao, Nangong Yu sobbed. Looking at Su Xiao and Nangong Yu, Xiao Wu couldn't help crying. At this time, Tang Hao suddenly said coldly, you need to leave now. Staying with the two brothers now will only bring endless dangers. Su Xiao's eyes were full of reluctance, and he understood that Tang Hao was not against him and Nangong Yu, as well as Tang San and Xiao Wu. Before reaching level 60, it is very easy for titled Duluo to discover your identity. Tang Hao explained. Before Xiao and Xiao San have the power to protect you, go back to the Star Do forest. Tang Hao forcibly pulled Su Xiao and Nangong Yu away, and asked him to turn his back and not watch Nangong Yu leave. After Xiao Wu said goodbye to Tang San, she left with Nangong Yu. Su Xiao could only hear the footsteps of the two people getting further and further away until they disappeared. When Tang San woke up, Tang San also realized Xiao Wu's departure. As Su Xiao and Tang San's moods gradually calmed down, Tang Hao said seriously, it's time for us to leave. Xiaosan, you will conduct special training according to what I said until I am satisfied. Yes, Tang San nodded in agreement without hesitation. Su Xiao didn't mention that she asked, what about me, Uncle Hao? Tang Hao patted Su Xiao on the shoulder and said, Xiao, your bright holy dragon spirit will be cultivated in the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect. I have informed the master that he will come to pick you up. Su Xiao was slightly startled after hearing this. She had just met Tang Hao and it seemed that they were about to separate again. After putting out the fire, Tang Hao took Tang San away. The two brothers looked at each other, with smiles on their faces even though they were reluctant to part. There was no shabby farewell, although they were just waving hands freely, but no matter how long it took, their feelings would not change. Not long after Tang Hao and Tang San left, Yu Xiaogang and Lu Erlong found Su Xiao. Teacher, do we really want to go back to the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect? You and Aunt Erlong, Su Xiao said slightly worried. Yu Xiaogang hesitated for a while and replied, Xiao, compared to your future, Erlong and I have already discussed it. As long as the clan leader can accept you, Erlong and I will sever ties with the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect from now on. Quote. But teacher, you still can't let go of your family, right? That's the place where you grew up. Lu Erlong looked at Yu Xiaogang, and the two of them held their hands tighter now. No matter what kind of thing it was, the two of them had to face it together. Xiao, I believe you have also seen the girl with the angel martial spirit. She is the inheritor of the Qian family. Compared to Huliena, she is the real worthy opponent for you and Xiao San. Su Xiao sighed as she thought about Qian Runshui. Her innate soul power was level 20, and coupled with the top god-given martial soul, the gap between him and Qian Runshui was not just in soul skills. Yu Xiaogang and the others returned to the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect. The Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect is located within the Tiando Empire. The entire sect is divided into 9 mountains. Before entering the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect, you must take a boat through the dragon-shaped lake outside. Who is coming? Before getting off the boat, the members of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect shouted and asked. Yu Xiaogang came forward and replied, please inform Chief Yu that Yu Xiaogang and his wife Lu Erlong, and his disciple Su Xiao are seeking to see him. When these people heard Yu Xiaogang's name, they all exclaimed, it's the third young master who is back. Soon someone went to report it, and Yu Xiaogang and 3 others were welcomed off the ship. After a while, the person who informed me ran back panting and said, the Patriarch invites the 3 true Dragon Mountains to meet. Entering the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect, Yu Xiaogang was obviously very familiar with this place. He walked through several mountain roads, looked at the towering steps and introduced to Su Xiao. This is True Dragon Mountain, the head of the 9 mountains of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect, and where the clan leader lives. Then the 3 of them climbed up Junlong Mountain and entered the family meeting hall. Sitting at the head was the patriarch Yu Yuanjun, flanked by several elders. One of them was Lu Erlong's father, Yu Xiaoging's second uncle, and Yu Yuanjun. Lu Omian. Is this Su Xiao? Yu Yuanjun asked. The clan leader was the first to speak, and it was difficult for others to mention the relationship between Yu Xiaoging and Lu Erlong. Yu Xiaoging gave Su Xiao a look indicating that he was possessed by the martial spirit. Su Xiao nodded in agreement, and his momentum was revealed. 4 soul rings, 3 purple and 1 black, rose from his feet, and at the same time, the shadow of a bright holy dragon appeared behind him. At the same time, Su Xiao slowly raised his right hand and made a golden palm print, which contained the words, King of the World. With these 2 hands, Su Xiao has been able to prove his identity, and under the pressure of the Holy Dragon of Light and Zhang Lintianja, several Soul Saint level elders present even felt completely intimidated. Do you agree with Su Xiao entering the ancient secret realm? Yu Yuanjun asked the other elders. Several elders looked at each other and raised their hands in agreement, including Yu Luomian, who had been angry after the 3 people came in. Afterwards, Su Xiao took a short rest and went to the entrance of the ancient secret realm under the leadership of the patriarch Yu Yuanjun. The ancient secret realm guarded by the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect is said to be the battlefield of the ancient dragon clan. The use of soul power is completely prohibited there and is filled with a large number of powerful dragon souls. Yu Yuanjun explained. In short, there are many dangers, but no member of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect has entered it for 100 years, because if you want to open the entrance to the ancient secret realm, you must use Zhang Lin Tian Sha. Yu Yuanjun pointed to the dragon-shaped decoration on the door and signaled to Su Xiao. Su Xiao hit Zhang Lintianja at the door, and soon the dragon-shaped decoration seemed to come alive, swallowing Zhang Lintianja directly, and the entire door turned from black to light gold. Then a squeaking sound slowly sounded, and the door opened. Behind the gate was chaos, with chilling roars coming from time to time. The key to entering the ancient secret realm is to rule the world, but if you want to leave from now on, you must master a field. However, how to obtain this field is not recorded by our ancestors. You have to explore it yourself, so this is equivalent to a path without anyone. The dead end you have explored. Su Xiao, are you really willing? Yu Yuanjun asked again. Su Xiao nodded without hesitation. Since the teacher asked me to come, it means that he has confidence in me, and the mainland is about to change. Patriarch, if you can accept the teacher's request, you also hope that I will give the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect a chance in the future. Do your part. Su Xiao directly saw through Yu Yuanjun's thoughts, but now that Su Xiao has decided to leave, any exchange of interests is meaningless. If he can come out of the ancient secret realm, his strength will naturally increase greatly. Su Xiao stepped into the ancient secret realm without hesitation. The moment he entered, he heard various dragon roars ringing in his ears. After an unknown amount of time, when Su Xiao regained consciousness again, he found himself in a canyon, with an illusory dragon-like creature floating in the air not far away. Su Xiao was slightly surprised, but according to what Yu Yuanjun said, he really couldn't use his soul power, and even his soul power seemed to disappear, and he couldn't even sense the martial spirit. Can it only rely on strength? Su Xiao tried to use the soul bone again, but it still had no effect. At this moment, the dragon soul floating in the air launched an attack on Su Xiao. He could only escape temporarily, and because he didn't have any soul power, Su Xiao couldn't exert any effect even with Tang Sect's unique skills. Because the foundation of Tang Sect's secret skill is Xuantiankang, and Xuantiankang is equivalent to the soul power of Duluo continent. Su Xiao could only run. He was thinking about his remaining methods. Hidden weapon. The various hidden weapons Tang San gave Su Xiao were all in the Rui 100 treasure bracelet. Without soul power, he couldn't activate the soul guide at all. Now Su Xiao only has one trump card left, and that is the Dragon God's Claw. Su Xiao used all his strength to activate the Dragon God's Claw, and the familiar bloody mist appeared. Su Xiao instantly felt the long-lost soul power. It turns out that the bloody mist stored in the Dragon God's Claws can be used as soul power in the ancient secret realm. Su Xiao was suddenly overjoyed, but the bloody mist of the Dragon God's Claw was limited, and he couldn't waste it. But by releasing 1/10 of the dragon god claw, Su Xiao was confident to kill the dragon soul in front of him. He waved the dragon god claw, and a bloody dragon soul appeared, directly swallowing the dragon soul that attacked him. Although Su Xiao lost 1/10 of his soul power, after absorbing the dragon soul, Su Xiao felt that the dragon soul stored in the dragon god's claws became deeper. This means that as long as Su Xiao relies on the dragon god claw, he can gradually possess soul power, and Su Xiao vaguely feels that his dragon god claw is getting stronger. Su Xiao then carefully found a dragon soul and tried the same trick again, and it was exactly as he had guessed. The soul power increases, and the power of the dragon god's claws increases. But he also discovered a problem. Ordinary physical attacks did very little damage to the dragon soul. One is because their soul state is illusory, and they were all powerful dragons in their previous lives. It is a true dragon soul beast, even a bloodline inherited from the ancient dragon god. Their own strength has reached a peak, and even if they are transformed into dragon souls, they still maintain the power of their previous lives. Therefore, it is not easy for Su Xiao to survive in this ancient secret realm and improve his cultivation. Especially finding a way out of here. Ding, the check-in location has been refreshed, the secret realm of the ancient dragon clan. Ding, you will receive a 7-star reward for signing in this time. The system, which had not responded for a long time, suddenly made an electronic sound in Su Xiao's mind. Sign in, Su Xiao thought silently in his heart. Ding, the sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for receiving the 7-star reward, Golden Dragon Spear. I saw a flash of light, and when the golden brilliance slowly disappeared, the golden dragon gun suddenly appeared in Su Xiao's hand. Su Xiao has a little understanding of the origin of the golden dragon spear. Rumor has it that this is the 49th rib of the first-generation golden dragon king. As long as the golden dragon spear absorbs enough souls, it will return to the golden dragon king's body and help him become a true dragon god. Therefore, it is extremely difficult to control the golden dragon spear by yourself. Su Xiao released Xiaobai from the Rui Baobao bracelet. When it saw the golden dragon gun, it first felt fear and then turned into awe. However, when the golden dragon gun was completely tamed by Su Xiao, Xiaobai would deliberately approach the golden dragon gun. On the contrary, there is an ultimate sense of security. Xiaobai, this is the secret realm of the ancient dragon clan. We may have to fight here for a while, which will also be beneficial to your growth. Yo, Xiaobai roared, promising to fight side by side with Lydia Su. Xiaobai probed his head and looked at a pale dragon soul clinging to the surrounding rock wall in the distance, and the tail of this dragon soul was covered with white bones. Su Xiao immediately stood in front of Xiaobai. Although she didn't know what kind of illusory dragon that was less than 2 meters long in front of her, it was something that could exist in the secret realm of the ancient dragons and should not be underestimated. At this moment, the golden dragon gun in Su Xiao's hand trembled with excitement, and the eyes of the lifelike golden dragon head at the tip of the gun were flowing with blazing light like blood. Su Xiao could feel the desire of the golden dragon spear. This artifact seemed to want to get close to the pale dragon soul. He tried to stretch out the golden dragon spear, and sure enough, as he got closer to the pale dragon soul, the reaction of the golden dragon spear became stronger. Like a hunter looking greedily at his prey. Hold head high. A dragon roar sounded, and the golden dragon gun evolved into a golden dragon-shaped halo. It roared and opened its dragon head, trying to swallow the pale dragon soul directly. But the pale dragon soul suddenly drew a mass of purple from the white bones, and a layer of purple light visible to the naked eye floated on the surface of the entire dragon's body. What also changed with it was the shape of the pale dragon soul, which continued to skyrocket to nearly 5 meters in the blink of an eye, but it was unable to stop the golden dragon spear's desire to devour it. The golden dragon-shaped halo directly tore off a piece of the opponent and absorbed the mixed energy of pale and purple. In an instant, Su Xiao only felt that his cultivation seemed to be growing vaguely, and at the same time, the golden dragon spear and dragon god claws had been strengthened to a certain extent. Ah! With a scream, Su Xiao suddenly knelt on the ground, covering his heart, and his face turned pale. At the same time, his face was covered with a lingering purple aura. It's poison. Su Xiao felt that something was wrong. Xiaobai also immediately came over and used his body to hold Su Xiao against him so that he would not fall. Su Xiao tried to use the power in the dragon god's claws to control the toxins in the body, but the effect was minimal and could only delay the pain of the poison. The pale dragon soul that was bitten by the golden dragon gun also gradually approached Su Xiao. In the secret realm of the ancient dragon clan, the law of the jungle existed here. The dragon soul in front of him was obviously an excellent hunter. The best hunters will disguise themselves as prey. This pale dragon soul may seem weak, but it has evolved extremely powerful toxins with the help of those white bones. Anyone who tries to swallow it will be poisoned. Xiaobai, let's go. Su Xiao held the golden dragon spear and used her last bit of strength to lie on Xiaobai's back. They can only choose to escape now. This pale dragon soul is so cunning, and judging from the fact that it is still growing in size, it is already a soul beast that is close to 20,000 years old. In Su Xiao's current state, even if he uses the dragon god's claw a little, the poison will flow to the whole body along the meridians in an instant if it is not controlled. Xiaobai's movement speed was not very fast. He could only slightly distance himself from the pale dragon soul, but he was not able to get rid of it at all. Moreover, Su Xiao and Xiaobai were chased and fled in the secret realm of the dragon clan. If they encountered another powerful dragon soul, their situation would become extremely dangerous. Su Xiao looked at the golden dragon spear and didn't know whether it was a blessing or a curse. This artifact seems to have endless greed, and it wants to devour everything that can be turned into power. In the secret realm of the dragon clan, the dragon souls evolved from these ancient dragon clan are undoubtedly its best nutrients. But the dragon soul swallowed by the golden dragon gun will have part of its power fed back to Su Xiao, just like just now. The golden dragon spear itself was not affected by the dragon soul toxin, but it caused Su Xiao to be indirectly poisoned. Xiaobai, find an open place, we must get rid of the big guy behind. Su Xiao said weakly. One person and one dragon were chased by the 8-meter-long dragon soul, and finally stopped on an open flat land. It was very deserted here, but the view was wide, allowing Su Xiao to at least be sure that there were no other dragon souls around. Su Xiao turned over and almost rolled off Xiaobai's back. He used the golden dragon spear as a walking stick, holding the golden dragon spear with both hands at the same time, hunched over and looking at the menacing dragon soul. Along the way, Su Xiao could only evolve the power of the dragon divine claw with all his strength, and gather the purple poison in one place through a cloud of blood mist, so that it would not spread. In a desolate and decaying place like the Dragon Clan's secret realm, it is impossible to find detoxifying herbs. Moreover, this kind of poison is a dragon poison that has been evolved by tens of millions of people, and even top-grade fairy grass may not be able to resolve it all. The only way is to force the toxins out of the body. Su Xiao showed his left wrist and cut it open with the golden dragon spear, and blood flowed out directly. The blood fell on the golden dragon gun and was directly swallowed by the greedy dragon head, and the blood-red eyes became more vivid. Su Xiao could feel that the only power existing in the dragon god's claws was being absorbed by the golden dragon spear. He is getting weaker, but at the same time, Su Xiao is also using blood to continuously force out the toxins. At the same time, the pale dragon soul was also approaching quickly. Xiaobai stood in front of Su Xiao with a fierce look on his face, and at the same time, his rhinoceros horn also emitted a very strong light. Although it had a certain aggressiveness, it was not enough in front of the dragon soul, which was equivalent to a 20,000-year-old soul beast. Golden dragon spear, you drank so much of my blood, it's time to do something serious. A cloud of blood mist appeared in Su Xiao's left hand, protecting his wound. Although blood continued to flow out, it was integrated into the dragon god's claws and did not dissipate from Su Xiao's control. From the front, the pale dragon soul roared directly towards Xiaobai. As a sub-dragon soul beast, Xiaobai is not a pure-blooded dragon, but the blood in its body is full of vitality, and it is equally attracted to this dragon soul. The rhinoceros horn shining with milky white light lit up. Ouch! Following Xiaobai's roar, a beam of light shot towards the pale dragon soul. What hit the pale dragon soul at the same time was a beam of golden light, and a bloody tail halo was vaguely visible. This golden light was the golden dragon spear. Su Xiao used the last remaining strength to use the dragon god's claw and threw the golden dragon spear fiercely towards the pale dragon soul. Golden dragon spear, show your greed. Just as Su Xiao said, a dragon-shaped halo of golden blood appeared. What exudes is the ultimate power of the dragon god, which is no longer something ordinary dragons can contend with, and is naturally filled with absolute suppression. The pale dragon soul was completely torn into pieces in an instant, and the greed of the golden dragon gun didn't care about Su Xiao at all, and ate all the dragon's soul with strong dragon poison. Although the power contained in this pale dragon soul quickly fed back into Su Xiao's body, more violent toxins were also raging in Su Xiao's body. There is only one way now, bloodletting. In order to detoxify, Su Xiao had no choice but to make a desperate move. In addition to cutting off his left wrist and 2 ankles, he only had one right hand to deal with emergencies. Moreover, Su Xiao directly opened the 7 orifices with the dragon divine claw, and a large amount of blood flowed out. At the same time, purple mist also left Su Xiao's body along with the blood. Even so, there are still a lot of toxins remaining in Su Xiao's body. Su Xiao became weak again. If he only relied on this method, he might have died of excessive blood loss before the toxins in Su Xiao's body were drained out. Wu Xiaobai came to Su Xiao's side. Seeing him in such pain, his mood became very low. It could only nuzzle Su Xiao, hoping that Su Xiao could relieve a certain amount of pain. I'm fine, Xiaobai, go over there and see if there is any dragon soul approaching. Su Xiao forced out a smile and said. Xiaobai agreed, and it quickly ran around in a circle, and then came to the place where the pale dragon soul dissipated, jumping and venting. Before Xiaobai knew it, many dragon soul fragments had been integrated into Xiaobai's body, subtly enhancing its strength. Also integrated into Xiaobai's body were the fragments of the dragon poison. Suddenly Xiaobai was stunned. It was just a 1,000-year-old soul beast, and its intelligence was not as good as that of a sensible child. It suddenly gained such power and didn't know what to do. The only thing that Xiaobai can fully control and can express information is his rhinoceros horn. Xiaobai poured all the information about the dragon poison into the rhinoceros horn, and it instantly glowed with translucent purple. Running to Su Xiao, Su Xiao said with a complicated expression, Xiaobai, you are also poisoned. I am sorry for you. Xiaobai shook it, brought the rhinoceros horn close to Su Xiao, and motioned for him to touch it. Su Xiao smiled and stroked Xiaobai's rhinoceros horn. In an instant, he felt that a large amount of toxins in his body had been sucked out, and all of them were integrated into Xiaobai's rhinoceros horn. Xiaobai, you mean you have mastered how to use dragon poison? Su Xiao exclaimed. Xiaobai jumped twice on the spot, signaling to Su Xiao not to talk about this yet, as his blood was still flowing freely. Su Xiao sealed the meridians, and the poisoning incident finally passed without any danger. Moreover, Xiaobai knew how to unlock the dragon poison, which made them safer in the secret realm of the dragon clan. Time flies, time flies. In the blink of an eye, 2 years have passed, and Su Xiao and Xiaobai still haven't found a way to leave the dragon clan's secret realm. However, through the 2 powerful weapons of the golden dragon spear and the dragon divine claw, although Su Xiao's soul power cannot be improved, the strength he has exerted is no less than that of a soul emperor. At the same time, since Xiaobai entered the secret realm of the dragon clan, in addition to being able to absorb part of the power of the dragon's soul, his own growth rate has also been astonishing. In 2 years, Xiaobai has already reached the threshold of the 10,000-year soul beast. Su Xiao and Xiaobai joined forces, and they were able to deal with most of the dragon souls in the dragon clan's secret realm perfectly. After their exploration, the outline of the entire dragon clan's secret realm is the shape of a dragon vein. As long as they find the center, Su Xiao may be able to gain the domain. Now there is only the dragon head position left. Xiaobai, we may have to take a risk, Su Xiao said fearfully. Hearing Su Xiao mention that position, Xiaobai's nearly 5-meter-tall body began to tremble uncontrollably. Because the dragon soul in the dragon head position, even the lowest level one, is equivalent to a soul beast that is about 30,000 years old, no less than a contra among soul masters. The day of reincarnation will come soon, and then it will be our opportunity, Su Xiao said. The secret realm of the dragon clan is the resting place of the ancient dragon clan. Although the dragon souls here will temporarily disappear, on the day of reincarnation, all dragon souls will appear again. And even the dragon souls that are still alive will fall into deep sleep and return to their original appearance. On the eve of the day of reincarnation, Su Xiao and Xiaobai approached the dragon's neck, and 100 meters further they would enter the dragon's head. There is a canyon at the entrance of the dragon head, and there is a dragon soul burning with black flames. It is visually estimated to be 50,000 years old. There is still one stick of incense. Xiaobai, let's wait a little longer. Su Xiao patted Xiaobai and signaled. Xiaobai slowly leaned down and tried not to make any noise. A stick of incense was about to pass, and the originally chaotic sky in the Dragon Clan's secret realm turned into blood, and the dragon god claw on Su Xiao's left arm was revealed unconsciously. It was precisely because of the abnormality of the dragon god's claw that Su Xiao discovered the day of reincarnation in the Dragon Clan's secret realm. Now, the momentum of the black flame dragon soul gradually weakened, and the dragon body that was originally showing its teeth and claws was also coiled together. The dragon soul that was about to fall into sleep was their most careless moment. Su Xiao's dragon god claw appears in his left hand, and he holds a golden dragon gun in his right hand. Xiaobai's rhino horn also emits a holy light. This is the only way Xiaobai can attack the dragon soul. When Su Xiao and Xiaobai were less than 10 meters away from the black flame dragon soul, the behemoth reacted. However, the movements of the black flame dragon soul were slow and somewhat inadequate, and the intimidation was reduced to the extreme. The golden dragon gun directly penetrated the dragon head of the black flame dragon soul, and at the same time, Xiaobai's rhinoceros horn holy light combined with the dragon god's claws crushed the dragon body. A 50,000-year-old dragon soul greatly supplemented both Su Xiao and Xiaobai. Xiaobai is almost here. The reincarnation ceremony will last up to half an hour. If we fail to come out, we will be facing the peak of these dragon souls. One man and one dragon rushed towards the depths of the dragon head, killing more and more dragon souls along the way. There were even 2 dragon souls that were 100,000 years old. Even if their strength was greatly reduced, they were not weaker than the 10,000-year-old dragon souls. Fortunately, Su Xiao and Xiaobai have absorbed a large number of 10,000-year dragon souls, and their strength has skyrocketed. Together, they have reached the strength to deal with the 10,000-year dragon souls. After killing another 100,000-year-old dragon soul, Su Xiao saw a dazzling white light emitting from the depths of the dragon head. The feeling of light was all too familiar to Su Xiao. It definitely came from the same source as his bright holy dragon spirit, and the answer seemed to be right in front of him. Su Xiao and Xiaobai rushed towards the light. After about 100 meters, they were blocked by a golden barrier. Dragon God's Claw, Golden Dragon Spear. Su Xiao's 2 unbeatable moves in the Dragon Clan's secret realm did not break through this barrier. Xiaobai's holy light rhinoceros horn was even rebounded. If Su Xiao hadn't blocked it for him, Xiaobai would have been seriously injured. Time passed by second, and the reincarnation ceremony was about to end. This place was protected by various powerful dragon souls, and he and Xiaobai would definitely be discovered. Do we need to use brute force? Su Xiao thought about it, and used part of the soul power stored in the dragon god's claw to inject it into the dark gold terraclaw bear's external soul bone. The sky-tearing claw only made the golden barrier tremble a little but had no actual effect. At this time, Su Xiao could only use all his methods in sequence, from soul skills to Tang Sect's secrets to the Haoshan 9 secrets taught to him by Tang Hao, but none of them could break through this golden barrier. Su Xiao hammered the barrier with both fists angrily. It's been 2 years, how long are we going to be stuck here? Hold head high, Xiaobai suddenly roared, as if giving Lydia Su a hint. Junlin Tiansha. Yes, Junlin Tiansha is the key to the secret realm of the Dragon Clan, and maybe it can also break through this light curtain. Su Xiao suddenly realized, and he patted his forehead remorsefully. It's not that he has forgotten, but that Junlin Tiansha really has no effect on the dragon soul in the Dragon Clan's secret realm. The intimidation Su Xiao released with the Holy Dragon of Light as his origin was completely incomparable to these dragon souls that were transformed from pure-blooded dragons in their previous lives. But, Junlin Tiansha, is the key that can open this place. Su Xiao had already determined in her heart that when she saw him clap his palm, it was the king of the world. When the golden palm print touched the barrier, it turned into a bright holy dragon and let out a vast dragon roar. Suddenly, the barrier began to slowly disappear, and Su Xiao and Xiaobai couldn't wait to walk deeper. After passing through the winding path, they finally came to the end of the light. There is also a dragon soul sleeping there, and it is obviously a bright holy dragon. The moment Xiaobai saw the holy dragon soul of light, he made a surrender gesture. Su Xiao, on the other hand, felt a call from the source, and his bright holy dragon spirit seemed to come from here. At this time, the air seemed to be stagnant. Both Su Xiao and Xiaobai stared at the bright holy dragon soul, seeming to have forgotten that the reincarnation ceremony outside was still going on. Su Xiao slowly walked towards the holy dragon soul of light. He slowly raised his hands to touch it, but forgot that he was still holding the golden dragon spear in his hands. When the sharp blade of the golden dragon gun touched the soul of the bright holy dragon, it moved while it was sleeping. The bright holy dragon soul slowly opened its dragon eyes, and a menace like a divine punishment descended. Under such intimidation, Xiaobai's whole body began to tremble uncontrollably. Although Su Xiao broke free from the attraction just now, she was still stunned. He realized that the dragon soul of the holy dragon of light in front of him did not come from an ordinary dragon clan, but the dragon king of light, one of the 9 dragon kings created by the dragon god. The golden dragon spear is the 49th rib of the golden dragon king, and the golden dragon king itself is the clone of the dragon god's power. Su Xiao instantly got the answer from the golden dragon spear's response. This has always been the burial place of the dragon clan. There is no inheritance. Everything is a lie. Su Xiao realized that this was a conspiracy from the ancient dragon king. He could already feel that the dragon king of light wanted to devour him, so as to obtain a physical body and complete the true resurrection. Perhaps the ancestors of the blue electric Tyrannosaurus didn't want future generations to use this as a place of trial, but to protect this place to prevent the dragon king from appearing again. Su Xiao raised the golden dragon spear, pointed the sharp blade at the holy light dragon king, and shouted, "My martial spirit is inherited from you. Now it's not you who eat me, but me who completely tame you." After speaking, Su Xiao used the golden dragon spear and the dragon god claw to attack the holy light dragon king. As the origin of martial arts, Su Xiao clearly understood that the fatal weakness of the holy light dragon emperor was in his dragon head. Su Xiao held the golden dragon gun with his left hand, aimed it at the holy light dragon king's head and threw it. The sharp edge of the dragon gun was glowing with the blood-colored light of the dragon god's claws. The dragon god's claws and the golden dragon spear both come from the dragon god, and are more powerful beings than the light dragon emperor. So Su Xiao directly penetrated the head of the bright dragon king. At this time, the bright dragon king is essentially a dragon soul. After he disappears, he is no different from other dragon souls. He turns into fragments and is gradually absorbed by Su Xiao and Xiaobai. But the power contained in it is far beyond what other dragon souls can compare with. After absorbing these fragments of the bright dragon king, Su Xiao felt the inexhaustible soul power in his body, and his martial soul seemed to have changed. Xiaobai completely broke through the boundary of a 10,000-year soul beast and transformed into a 30,000-year soul beast, and his appearance became closer and closer to that of a pure-blood dragon. But at this time, the reincarnation ceremony in the dragon clan's secret realm came to an abrupt end. At the same time, a whirlpool appeared in the sky, and the dragon souls that were supposed to be resurrected also completely disappeared. Su Xiao and Xiaobai left the Guangming Dragon King and saw this magical scene. "Xiaobai, we may have to leave. This dragon clan secret realm was originally created for the resurrection of the bright dragon king. Now that the dragon king has been absorbed by us, this dragon clan secret realm must be about to collapse." Su Xiao took back Xiaobai's Rui Baobao bracelet. Fortunately, the gift Du Gu Bo gave him back then had a large internal space, so Xiaobai could fit it in. Looking at the vortex in the air, Su Xiao activated the soul power in his body. Although the so-called realm has not yet appeared, Su Xiao's martial soul has now advanced from the holy dragon of light to the dragon king of light. Enough to gain recognition from the secret realm and leave from here. When Su Xiao left, he was not as dizzy as when he came in. He only felt stunned and appeared at the entrance where Yu Yuanjun took him into the secret realm. It's just that the dragon-shaped key on the door has gradually dimmed as its luster has gradually dimmed, petrified and finally broken into powder and dissipated in the air, which symbolizes that the dragon clan's secret realm will be completely closed. After Su Xiao returned to the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect, as the patriarch Yu Yuanjun noticed it immediately. The old dragon slowly opened his eyes from meditation, folded his hands and said piously, "Thank you ancestors, God bless the Blue Lightning Overlord." The news that Su Xiao had returned from the secret realm of the Dragon Clan spread like wildfire. Yu Xiaogang and Lu Erlong came to greet Su Xiao as soon as they got the news. However, they seemed to have arrived a little late. The elders of Jufeng had already surrounded Su Xiao. "Young master, I have a granddaughter who is the most beautiful girl in the country. She is of the right age for you. Can you guide her in her cultivation tonight? Go aside, your granddaughter is just a big lizard, and she is worthy of our young master's real dragon. To be honest with you, I have 3 granddaughters, and they all admire you. Young master, in addition to my granddaughter, I also have an unmarried daughter. I have been looking forward to meeting you for a long time." Su Xiao had just come out of the secret realm of the Dragon Clan, but unexpectedly it turned into a blind date meeting. This group of elders desperately wanted to betroth their female relatives to themselves. But Lydia Su has already had a girl in his heart. Wait for me." Seeing that Su Xiao was in trouble, Lu Erlong roared, "Get out of here." These elders were instantly suppressed. Although Lu Erlong was only Yu Luomian's illegitimate daughter and should not even be accepted by the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect, her strength was too strong. In just 2 years, she has shown signs of breaking through to Sol Du Luo. You must know that even his father, Yu Luomian, who spent his whole life, was only a soul saint. Now that he is old, it is impossible to improve any more. The Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect believes in the strong, so Yu Luomian recalled Lu Erlong, probably to let her inherit the position of Elder of Zidian Mountain, one of the 9 mountains. Chapter 91. After Su Xiao was taken away by Yu Xiaogang and Lu Erlong, she washed up and had a big meal. At this moment, she felt how beautiful the human world is. In the secret realm of the Dragon Clan, Su Xiao's soul guide only had some food, not even enough for Xiaobai to eat. Therefore, they can only use the energy absorbed from the dragon soul to maintain their bodies. Xiao, what have you and Xiaobai gone through in the past 2 years? It even transformed directly from a 1,000-year soul beast into a 10,000-year soul beast. Yu Xiaogang exclaimed. Su Xiao was lying on the bed, recalling the 2 years in the Dragon Clan secret realm. He and Xiaobai not only killed dragon souls, but those dragon souls were really a great supplement to Xiaobai. And returning to Duluo continent, Su Xiao can control his martial soul and soul power at will. Just as he expected, his martial soul has turned into the Dragon King of Light, and his soul power has reached the peak of level 49, and can break through level 50 at any time. Although Su Xiao's soul power has increased by less than 4 levels in 2 years, he can feel the soul power stored in his body, which allows him to directly break through the Soul Emperor. It is just because of the rules of Duluo continent that he must obtain soul rings. "Third young master, the Patriarch wants to see you," the caller reported. "Are you just looking for Lydia Su?" Yu Xiaogang asked. "The Patriarch wants you, third young master, and Miss Erlong to go together." Yu Xiaogang waved his hand to signal the informant to leave, and the 3 of them organized themselves before heading to the family hall in Zhenlong Mountain. However, when leaving the residence, Su Xiao saw that Xiaobai was still eating. The people feeding it had headaches and fearing that the 10,000-year soul beast would eat them too. "Xiaobai, come with me, Zhuangzhuangchang," Su Xiao greeted. Hearing Su Xiao's voice, Xiaobai, even though he was already a 10,000-year-old soul beast, still jumped towards Su Xiao like the little dragon before. However, Su Xiao signaled him to stop, otherwise Xiaobai would think it was a collision from close contact, and Su Xiao would be seriously injured. "Teacher, Aunt Erlong, Xiaobai is willing to carry us," Su Xiao said. Yu Xiaogang was a little hesitant, but Lu Erlong was very positive. She had no feelings for the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect and didn't feel inappropriate at all. "Come on, those old guys value Su Xiao so much, then Xiaobai will be the guardian spirit beast in the future." Lu Erlong directly gave Xiaobai a title. After Xiaobai became a 10,000-year soul beast, he already gained some intelligence and pretended to be majestic in an instant, but he looked like a mature child no matter how he looked. Yu Xiaogang was also amused by this scene. He couldn't help but think of Nangong Yu and Xiao Wu. Xiaobai just carried Su Xiao and the others to True Dragon Mountain. How majestic a 10,000-year soul beast was showing off in the blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex sect, one of the 3 sects on the mainland. Naturally, this matter was quickly spread to Junlong Mountain, but as the saying goes, when one person attains enlightenment, chickens and dogs ascend to heaven. Su Xiao's current identity, Xiao Bai, a 10,000-year soul beast, is already extremely powerful, even Yu Yuanjun has compromised. He just said coldly, they have to go up the steps of True Dragon Mountain by themselves. Remember to take good care of the 10,000-year soul beast. If Su Xiao is willing, then as Erlong said, as the protector of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect, soul beast. Soon Su Xiao and Yilong arrived at Junlong Mountain. Su Xiao asked Xiao Bai to wait at the foot of the mountain while he, Yu Xiaogang and Lu Erlong went to the family hall. After climbing the thousands of steps made of white jade, the 3 of them slowly entered the main hall under the watchful eyes of Yu Yuanjun and Elder Jushan. There was an extra chair next to Yu Yuanjun and Yu Luomian, which was obviously prepared for Yu Xiaogang and Lu Erlong. Yu Xiaogang, his wife Lu Erlong, and his disciple Su Xiao pay homage to the seniors. After finishing speaking, the senior officials of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect present frowned, just waiting for Yu Yuanjun and Yu Luomian to speak. After a moment of silence, Yu Luomian sighed and said, I'm old. I'm going to let Erlong inherit this position. Sit down quickly. The protagonist today is not Su Xiao. Under Yu Luomian's relief, although Yu Yuanjun did not speak, he undoubtedly acquiesced in the relationship between Yu Xiaogang and Lu Erlong. The expressions on the faces of this couple, who had been played by fate, were indescribably complicated. But Su Xiao took the chair next to Yu Luomian and brought it with Yu Xiaogang's chair, and then helped Yu Xiaogang and Lu Erlong sit down. Both of them shed a lot of tears silently. But their hands were always tightly held together. Seeing this tear-jerking scene, Nangong Yu's appearance reappeared in Su Xiao's mind. Su Xiao. Yu Yuanjun's shout brought Su Xiao back to his senses. Ah, what's wrong with Zongzong Yu? Su Xiao asked. Since you can leave the ancient secret realm, you must have obtained some kind of realm. Yu Yuanjun asked. After everyone present heard this, they all gasped. Domains are extremely difficult to obtain without a chance encounter, and the 9th soul skills of some titled Duluo are domain-like soul skills, which shows how rare and powerful domains are. No, Su Xiao replied. Yu Yuanjun's eyes changed slightly, and many questions instantly appeared in his mind. Su Xiao was too lazy to be asked one by one, but directly showed his martial spirit. The Bright Dragon Emperor's martial spirit, which is more intimidating than the Bright Holy Dragon, appears. At this moment, everyone present, even Yu Yuanjun, felt suppressed and had a sense of surrender. This moment shocked his blood. And among the 9 mountains, there was a strange sound faintly heard, which seemed to be the chanting of scriptures from thousands of years ago. All the disciples of the Blue Lightning Overlord Dragon Sect thought that their ancestors had appeared, and they all knelt down to the True Dragon Mountain in unison. After hearing these scriptures, the clan members of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect all felt an unprecedented sense of comfort. They vaguely felt that their soul power had increased, and they were many times faster than usual cultivation. What caused this phenomenon was naturally Su Xiao's Bright Dragon Emperor martial spirit, and he himself felt that there seemed to be something hidden in the 9 mountains, as if it was trying to merge into his body. Boom! There were 8 loud noises in a row, and in each of the 8 mountains except Junlong Mountain, a bone appeared from inside the mountain. It seemed like a soul bone, but it was broken. These bones are floating in the air, as if they are deliberately being looked up to by the people of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Sect. That's the dragon bone, the sect's strongest foundation. Suddenly someone remembered the legend of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect. Legend has it that there is a dragon bone buried in each of the 9 mountains of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect. As long as 8 of them are fused, the soul power will be increased to level 99, and all the soul rings will reach 99,909. 19 years. But as long as the 9th piece finally found in the True Dragon Mountain is fused, the dragon god's bloodline can be revived, and he may become a legendary god with power beyond that of a soul master. These 9 dragon bones are called the 9 crowns of the true dragon. After a moment, the 8 keel bones floating in the air floated towards True Dragon Mountain. When the 8 dragon bones gathered together, a golden light appeared from the True Dragon Mountain. The last skull appeared, and it was complete, like a head soul bone. The 9 true dragon crowns merged in the air and turned into a golden dragon under the guidance of the keel on the head. Suddenly thunder and lightning flashed in the sky, and the sky became bright and dark. Hold head high. With a dragon roar, the golden divine dragon rushed straight into the family hall. After a dazzling brilliance disappeared, the entire blue lightning tyrant dragon sect returned to peace again. Everyone in the hall could see clearly that the 9 crowns of the true dragon had merged into Su Xiao's body. And the only complete head, called the snow jade crown, was floating above Su Xiao's head like a dragon's crown. With a flash of light, Su Xiao absorbed the snow jade crown. He only felt that he had indeed obtained a head soul bone. The other 8 crowns also strengthened his body, and he could faintly feel that he had broken through level 60. Outside the 4 soul rings that were rhythmically surrounding Su Xiao's body, a golden dragon-shaped halo gradually appeared. As it became more real, it gradually turned into a white golden soul ring. Su Xiao was actually given the 5th soul ring. Yu Xiaoging exclaimed. After getting the 5th soul ring, Su Xiao felt that his shackles had been broken. His soul power increased crazily, directly reaching level 60, and with him as the center, he could be vaguely seen within a range of 30 meters outward, to an increasingly realistic dragon-shaped halo. It's the field. They felt that the range released by Su Xiao was indeed a domain, and everyone enveloped felt that their soul power had increased by at least 20%, including Yu Yuanjun, who was a titled Duluo. This is the true way to obtain the power of the true dragon's 9 crowns. Yu Yuanjun sighed. As the clan leader, he naturally knows about the true dragon 9 crowns as the sect's heritage. But if you don't get the recognition of the true dragon 9 crowns, even if your strength increases instantly, you will suffer backlash after at most 1 stick of incense. But now Su Xiao has completely absorbed the true dragon 9 crowns, and turned the key snow jade crown into the head soul bone, obtained a soul ring, and mastered the domain. Su Xiao's strength increased greatly, and only then did he absorb all the benefits obtained from the dragon clan's secret realm. Ah Xiao, give this field a name. Yu Xiaoging suggested. Well, Su Xiao thought for a moment and said, since my martial spirit has advanced to become the Dragon King of Light, this realm will be called the Dragon King Realm. One can lead the rest of the dragon clan and increase their strength, and the other can suppress the enemy and crush them into powder. After Su Xiao absorbed the 9 true dragon crowns, his strength greatly increased. However, under the guidance of Yu Xiaoging, he was not anxious to obtain the 6th soul ring, but stabilized his realm. As for his 5th white gold patterned soul ring, in terms of quality, it is roughly equivalent to a 40,000-year-old soul ring. But Su Xiao vaguely felt that this soul ring had not fully exerted its full effect. The soul skill given to Su Xiao by this 5th soul ring is called Dragon Emperor Shock Realm. It is a powerful soul skill that combines control and attack, and can also be added with domination of the world. After more than a month of rest in the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect, the senior officials headed by Yu Yuanjun still strongly recommended Su Xiao as the successor of the sect. Seniors, my surname is Su, not Yu. Can't the entire Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect change my surname to me in the future? Su Xiao declined. As long as the martial soul of the Holy Dragon of Light can be passed on, no matter what the surname is, it's best to change it to the Holy Dragon of Light. An elder said excitedly. Lydia Su slapped her forehead, sighed and shook her head. Don't force me anymore. On this day, Su Xiao discussed with these old men for a long time again. When he returned to his residence, he did not expect that Yu Xiaoging was waiting for him. Teacher, Su Xiao ran a few steps with a smile on her face. Can you please persuade those seniors not to let me be their heir? I think Yu Tianong is quite qualified. Because of Su Xiao and Lu Erlong, Yu Xiaoging already had a certain status in the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect even if he was not the son of the clan leader. Of course he knew what Su Xiao had experienced during this period. Ah Xiao, you absorbed the 9 true dragon crowns and have already reached the level of Soul Emperor at the age of 15. You have a bright future. Naturally, these seniors want you to stay. However, Erlong and I respect your wishes. It's time to return to Shrek. Now you can read this letter first. Quote. Yu Xiaoging took out a letter and handed it to Lydia Su. Su Xiao opened the envelope. He saw the familiar handwriting when he was 6 years old. He was surprised and said, "It's a letter from Uncle Hao." Yu Xiaogang nodded in affirmation and raised his hand to signal Lydia Su to read the letter first. The letter recorded in detail the experiences of Tang Hao, Tang San and his son in the past 2 years. In addition to Tang San's increase in cultivation, the most important thing was that Tang San met her mother a yin. In the letter, Tang Hao called a yin, your Aunt Yan. While the family of 3 was reunited, Tang San's blue-silver grass awakened for the second time and became the blue-silver emperor. The letter ended with an invitation from Tang Hao, who would devote himself entirely to teaching Su Xiao for a year and a half, allowing him to fully understand the essence of the clear sky hammer. Su Xiao's eyes were red. Tang Hao and Tang San were his family. When he saw the letter saying that the family of 3 was reunited, Su Xiao was moved to tears. After calming down, Su Xiao said, "Teacher, Uncle Hao asked me to practice with him for a while, and I can also take this opportunity to obtain the 6th soul ring." "Okay, then Xiao, please leave quietly to avoid objections from the elders." Yu Xiaogang patted Su Xiao on the shoulder and said. Su Xiao cupped her fists and saluted. After saying goodbye to Yu Xiaogang today, I'm afraid it will be at least a year before we see each other again. That night, Su Xiao packed her bags, put Xiao Bai into the Rui 100 treasure bracelet, and quietly left the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect. Yu Xiaogang and Lu Erlong also decided to return to Shrek Academy the next day. The place Tang Hao and Su Xiao agreed to meet was near a volcano. Su Xiao rode Xiao Bai and wandered leisurely in this forest. The size of this forest could not give birth to a 100,000-year soul beast. So Xiao Bai is absolutely domineering here. Ah Xiao. A familiar call suddenly came from behind Su Xiao, and when he looked back, it was Tang Hao. Uncle Hao. Su Xiao jumped down from behind Xiao Bai and met Tang Hao excitedly. You kid, you still love to pretend, but this dragon has followed you for 2 years and turned from a 1,000-year soul beast into a 10,000-year soul beast. Tang Hao said. Su Xiao scratched her head and said, Xiao Bai and I have been lucky enough to have some opportunities in the past 2 years. Where is Xiao San? Su Xiao shook his head and looked for Tang San. Tang Hao pointed to the volcano in the center of the forest and said, Xiao San went to the Killing City. Su Xiao shuddered when she heard the name, Killing City. It was definitely a terrifying place. However, he believed that Tang San, who had the aura of the protagonist, would definitely be able to break out and obtain the Killing God domain, preparing for the inheritance of the Shira God later on. Uncle Hao, I don't need to go to the Killing City to practice, right? Su Xiao obviously resisted that place. Yeah, Tang Hao nodded. The master said in the letter that you have obtained the Dragon King domain, which is extremely suitable for you, and the quality is no less than the Killing God domain, and you now have more important things to learn. After hearing this, Su Xiao finally felt relieved and asked, Uncle Hao, do you want to continue teaching me the 9 skills of Haoshan? Before that, get your 6th soul ring first. About a kilometer away from here, there is a 60,000-year-old light-attributed heavenly dragon horse, which is very suitable for you. Tang Hao replied. When Su Xiao heard that he wanted to obtain the soul ring, Su Xiao's eyes lit up, but he had to give in to Xiao Bai. After all, it was also a 10,000-year-old soul beast. Once Xiao Bai's aura approached, it was very likely that Longma would feel intimidated and run away. Su Xiao followed Tang Hao and soon approached the 10,000 years heavenly dragon horse. Tianlongma is also a soul beast with dragon blood, and he has a single horn on his head and 2 wings on his back. In terms of speed and attack, he can definitely be among the top soul beasts. Heavenly dragon horse Xiao, come by yourself. Tang Hao said. After finishing speaking, Su Xiao approached Tianlongma directly. With his current strength, he could definitely handle a 60,000-year-old soul beast. When Tianlongma saw someone entering his territory, he roared and released a dazzling light to expel Su Xiao, but it obviously picked the wrong person. Su Xiao Guangming was possessed by the Dragon King's martial soul, and 5 soul rings rose from his feet. Moreover, the Dragon King's intimidation made Tianlongma aware of the danger. Tianlongma spread its huge golden wings and tried to escape, but a golden light curtain instantly enveloped it. Dragon King Realm. Su Xiao expanded the domain, completely cutting off Tianlongma's path, and while increasing his own strength, Tianlongma was completely intimidated. The 5th soul skill, Dragon King Shock Realm. Su Xiao released a huge halo that enveloped the Tianlong horse. Several materialized holy dragons of light appeared within the scope of the halo, and launched an attack on the Tianlong horse. Under the strong power of the dragon, Tianlongma could not hold out for more than 3 seconds before he fell. A dark 10,000-year soul ring floated on Tianlongma's body. Looking at Su Xiao's 5th white gold patterned soul ring, even Tang Hao was amazed. Su Xiao put away his realm and martial spirit. Tang Hao walked to him and explained. According to what the master said, both you and Shaoxin follow the balanced flow. Now it seems that you have taken into account attack, defense and a certain degree of control, so the master hopes that your 6th soul ring can add a certain degree of flexibility to you. This heavenly dragon horse's soul skill will most likely give you a speed soul skill, or even a flying soul skill. Quote. Su Xiao also agreed with the master's opinion and immediately sat cross-legged on the ground and began to absorb the soul ring. While Su Xiao was absorbing the soul ring, Tang Hao found a shining bone appearing on the wings of Tianlongma's corpse. Is it a soul bone? It seems to be a leg soul bone. Tang Hao put away the soul bones and waited for Su Xiao to absorb the soul ring, then let him absorb the soul bones produced from the same soul beast, so that the effect could be maximized. Half an hour later, Tianlongma's soul ring was smoothly integrated into Su Xiao's soul ring ratio. He took a long breath and his soul power broke through from level 60 to level 61. Uncle Hao, Su Xiao was about to show off his soul skills when he saw Tang Hao hand over a shimmering pocket calf bone. This is the left leg bone produced by Tianlongma. Xiao, you should also absorb it. No matter what your soul skill is, you will definitely gain the ability to fly this time. Tang Hao said confidently. After Su Xiao absorbed Tianlongma's left leg bone, it was already dark, and Tang Hao had already lit a fire and was grilling meat. Uncle Hao, I have broken through level 62, and the soul bone skill of this Tianlongma left leg bone is flying. Su Xiao said excitedly. Then how effective is your 6th soul skill? Tang Hao asked. Su Xiao opened his martial soul, and the majestic soul power of the 6th soul ring was injected into his body. I saw a golden light flashing in the dark night, and then came back in the blink of an eye. The body of this golden light was Su Xiao. In less than 5 seconds, Su Xiao advanced about 500 meters in a straight line, caught a century-old wild boar and came back. Uncle Hao, my 6th soul skill is called Dragon King Flash Kill. It can be used up to 7 times. Not only does it move forward at an extremely fast speed, but each impact can cause superimposed damage. Su Xiao summoned Xiaobai from the Ruyi Baobao bracelet, and this century-old wild boar became Xiaobai's dinner. Tang Hao is extremely satisfied with Su Xiao's soul skills and soul bone skills, and can give Su Xiao special training tomorrow. Early the next morning, Tang Hao's special training began. Tang Hao's purpose is to teach Su Xiao some skills about the Clear Sky Hammer. Holy Light Dragon Transformation. Su Xiao condensed the dragon pattern Hoshin hammer into his hand through his soul power. A Xiao, try to increase the weight of the Clear Sky Hammer to 1,500 kilograms. Tang Hao said. Su Xiao nodded. His soul power was many times stronger than during the Soul Master competition. It was not difficult to increase the weight of the Clear Sky Hammer to 1,500 kilograms with soul power. And because this weight was originally transformed by Su Xiao's soul power, Su Xiao could pick it up very easily no matter how heavy it was. Okay, from today on, Xiao, you will start training with this weight of 1,500 kilograms. I will teach you from the beginning. Remember when Tang San and I were learning to blacksmith when we were young? Tang Hao also summoned his own Clear Sky Hammer. Hearing what Tang Hao said, Su Xiao's childhood memories instantly came to mind. At that time, even though Tang San had Zhan Yu hands, he still suffered a lot when learning casting from Tang Hao. It wasn't until the two of them went to Notting College to join Yu Shaoging's sect. As their age and soul power grew, Tang San became more proficient in the random cloak hammering technique. A Xiao, now I will teach you the most basic cloak hammering technique. Tang Hao didn't know when he built 2 stoves in the wild to use for chaining iron. Although the random cloak hammering technique is not as good as Hoshin Juhui in terms of actual combat ability, it can even be said that this is a magical casting skill, so it will naturally be a bit acclimatized when used in combat. However, the random cloak hammer method can fundamentally change a person's method of exerting force. It can be said to be the basis for using the Clear Sky Hammer. And Tang Hao asked Su Xiao to learn the clear sky hammer as a process to correct him, so that he could master the most essential 9 arts of the clear sky. 3 months later, Su Xiao's cloak hammering skills were perfected, and he could even try to forge some simple hidden weapons. Ah Xiao is optimistic. This is the real Haoshan Juhui. Now that Su Xiao has laid a good foundation, Tang Hao is going to spend a year teaching him the 9 arts of Haoshan. If Su Xiao's use of Haoshan's 9 arts can reach Tang Hao's level, in the Advanced Soul Master competition, Qian Runshui will not only be injured when she has no defense. A year later, Su Xiao's Haoshan Juhui also reached the point of perfection. Now Tang Hao only has one move left that he has not given to Su Xiao. Big Sumeru Hammer. Ah Xiao, the essence of the Great Sumeru Hammer is to explode rings, which is a stronger method than melting rings, but it is a life-threatening method. As long as it is used, no matter how deep the soul power is, it will be extremely weak. For half a year, Su Xiao was exhausted every day and practiced ring explosions. From the 1st to the 6th ring, he can also use the Great Sumeru Hammer. Xiao, I have something to do. If Xiao-san is alive, he will soon come out of the killing city. You and Xiao Bai are waiting for him here. I will be back in 3 months. After 3 months, it was expected that Su Xiao would have left the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon sect for 2 years. On this day, Su Xiao suddenly saw 2 people coming out of the crater. One of them, Su Xiao knew, was Huliena, the Golden Generation member of Wuhun Palace. The other person, with long blue hair, was the ultimate in appearance and temperament, but Su Xiao could confirm from his every move that it was Tang San. It should be the change in appearance after the second awakening of Wuhun. Xiaosan is so handsome, he's almost catching up with me. After Huliena left, Su Xiao and Xiao Bai rushed directly to Tang San. Tang Sanliu's senses were very sensitive and he immediately hid when he noticed that a 10,000-year soul beast was approaching. Xiaosan, stop hiding, it's me and Xiao Bai. Su Xiao shouted from a distance. When Tang San heard the familiar voice, he immediately appeared and rushed towards Su Xiao. The 2 brothers hugged each other excitedly when they met. Xiao-san, that's good. You can break out of the killing city. Have you obtained the killing god realm? Su Xiao asked. The blood-red magic circle with a radius of 5 meters spread out with Tang San as the center is exactly the realm of the god of death that Su Xiao asked about. Have you met Dad? Tang San asked. Su Xiao nodded and replied. Uncle Hao said he would be back within 3 months, and it's about time. After speaking, Tang San frowned slightly, seeming a little worried, but without realizing it, a large amount of murderous aura leaked out, and Xiao Bai unconsciously took 2 steps back after feeling it. Xiaosan, you still can't control your murderous intent. Tang Hao walked out of the woods. After seeing Tang Hao, Tang San's murderous intent was immediately suppressed. If you can control your murderous intent, then this will be your most powerful method, but if you cannot, you will eventually be swallowed by the murderous intent. As he spoke, Tang Hao took out 2 envelopes. The envelopes were extremely ornately decorated with gold gilt patterns. This is the proof of Yuehua Sect study. Yuehua Sect is in Tiando City. You 2 go and study. Tang Hao said. Su Xiao and Tang San looked at each other and immediately set off for the Yuehua Sect in Tiando City. It's just that now Tang San's appearance has changed drastically, which just happens to be able to hide his identity. Yuehua Sect is very famous in Tiando City. It is an academy that specializes in learning noble etiquette. Where did it come from? The guard at the entrance of Yuehua Sect scolded. Su Xiao and Tang San had just left the forest and returned to the city. They didn't care about their clothes at all. They were indeed incompatible with the people of the Yuehua Sect. Even the guard was very well dressed. After being despised, the murderous aura in Tang San's body suddenly surged. If Su Xiao hadn't held Tang San's wrist to suppress his murderous aura, the murderous aura alone might have scared the guard to death. Su Xiao took out 2 letters and said, "We came to Yuehua Sect to study." The guard took the letter. Both the style and the content were indeed Yuehua Sect's admission certificate, but the clothes of the 2 young men in front of him were completely inconsistent with their aristocratic status. Isn't this letter of yours stolen? I told you in advance that the students of the Yuehua Sect are always from noble families. The guard said cautiously. The Yuehua Sect is full of aristocratic children. If 2 thugs were let in because of his negligence, and if any of the young lords were injured, it would be something he alone as a guard could not handle. Noble, is this enough? Su Xiao said and took out a medal symbolizing the status of a viscount. This was Shrek's reward from the Tiando Empire when he won the ranking competition. If he hadn't been forced to leave in the finals, he would have been an earl by now. When the guard saw the viscount medal, he couldn't help but tremble, and returned the medal to Su Xiao with both hands. I am too blind to see. Please bear with me, Lord Viscount, and wait for a while. I will inform the dean right away. The guard said and turned around and ran away, while signaling the others to quickly serve Su Xiao and Tang San. Not long after, a woman dressed in luxurious clothes appeared. She had a dignified temperament and was vaguely similar to Tang Hao. Are you Su Xiao and Tang San? Tang Yuehua asked. Yes, Su Xiao and Tang San replied. Tang Yuehua invited Su Xiao and Tang San into the Yuehua sect, walked inside while asking them about recent events, and finally asked, where did Tang Hao go? Hearing someone mention Tang Hao's name, Tang San immediately became on guard, and at the same time filled with murderous intent. But Tang Yuehua released a translucent field that enveloped Su Xiao and Tang San, instantly suppressing Tang San's murderous intent. My name is Tang Yuehua. Tang Hao is my second brother, you two can call me Aunt. Tang Yuehua explained. My martial spirit is a mutated clear sky hammer, so I was born with a noble domain, but my lifelong spirit power cannot break through level 10, so I can only create this Yuhua sect and teach others noble etiquette. My second brother will send you two to the same must be true for Yuehua sect. These etiquettes can calm your minds and suppress Tang San's murderous intent. As for Su Xiao, the second brother said that you are too arrogant and need some changes in your personality. Quote. Later, according to Tang Yuehua's guidance, Su Xiao and Tang San began to learn etiquette and playing the piano at Yuehua sect. However, Su Xiao's and Tang San's hands had already become less soft during fighting and training, and they were a little stiff when learning etiquette and playing the piano. This was ridiculed by many students of the same period. But Su Xiao and Tang San can use hidden weapons, which means their fingers are flexible and there is no problem playing the piano. As long as they are familiar with this environment, they can get better and better. 1 year passed quickly, and Su Xiao and Tang San attended the graduation ceremony as the most outstanding students of the Yuehua sect. At this time, the temperament of the two people has changed significantly from before. Su Xiao has become more calm, and Tang San can also use his murderous aura skillfully, and there will no longer be uncontrollable situations. And during this process, Tang San's soul power, which he had cultivated in the Killing City, had been completely digested and was about to break through level 60. After the two graduated from Yuehua sect, they met Tang Hao. It's just that at this time, this man's strength is no longer as good as at his peak. He probably only has the cultivation level of Contra, and his body is very weak. Uncle Hao, what's wrong with you? Su Xiao asked anxiously. Tang San was equally worried. He thought of Wuhun Palace and suddenly became angry. Tang Hao took the hands of Su Xiao and Tang San and explained, I did it myself. I cut off my 2 limbs and took out the 2 soul bones inherited by the Haoshan sect. Xiao San, you two can help me return them. Quote. As he spoke, Tang Hao handed a wooden box to Su Xiao, which contained 2 10,000-year soul bones inherited by the Haoshan sect. Then he handed Tang San a piece of leg soul bone and said, Xiao San, this is your mother's, now you should absorb it too. Then Tang Hao found Tang Yuehua, hoping that she could help Tang San recognize his ancestor and return to his clan. The brother and sister had not seen each other for more than 10 years, so they couldn't help crying, but Tang Yuehua agreed to Tang Hao's request. Nowadays, the Haoshan sect is hiding from the world under the pressure of the Wuhun Palace. It all started when Tang Hao opposed the Pope, which eventually led to the Pope's serious injury and death. Although it was Bibi Dong who killed the former Pope Qianzunji, the blame was placed on him. Tang Hao came to carry it. Let the mistress recognize my ancestor and return to the clan for me. It's me, Tang Hao, who has failed the clan. Tang Hao said guiltily. Tang Yuehua wanted to comfort Tang Hao but didn't know what to say, so she could only nod her head and agree to Tang Hao's request. Uncle Hao, Aunt, I want to go to Haoshan sect with Xiaosan. Su Xiao said proactively. Tang Yuehua asked doubtfully, Ah Xiao, it seems that your martial spirit comes from the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect. It's a bit inappropriate to go back to the Haoshan Sect with Xiao San. Su Xiao insisted on her idea. Uncle Hao taught me all the special skills of the Haoshan Sect, and although Xiaosan and I are not related by blood, we have long been brothers. I went to visit the Haoshan Sect to express my feelings for Uncle Hao. Quote, Tang Hao and Tang Yuehua thought for a while with complicated expressions, and then agreed to Su Xiao's request. So according to the directions given by Tang Yuehua, the two of them left Tiando City and went to Haoshan Sect to recognize their ancestors and return to the sect on Tang Hao's behalf. Soon Su Xiao and Tang San came to Haoshan Mountain. There was a small village at the foot of the mountain, where the disciples of the Haoshan Sect guarded the sect. Who is coming? A young man yelled. Su Xiao and Tang San saluted at the same time, and Tang San said, Brother, let's recognize our ancestors and return to our clan for our father. Are you also a member of the Haoshan Sect? Tang Long said with an arrogant look, No. The Haoshan Sect does not allow outsiders to enter. Although I don't know where you got the information, they are not allowed to enter. In the next half hour, Su Xiao and Tang San Xiaoji asked Tang Long politely and affectionately, but to no avail. It's so annoying. Tang Long was possessed by Wuhun, and a clear sky hammer appeared in his hand. At the same time, 6 soul rings were beating around his body. The optimal configuration of 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 2 black made him a powerful soul emperor. At this time, Tang San also showed the clear sky hammer in his left hand and said, Brother, look, I am also a descendant of the Clear Sky Sect, so just let us in. If you want to join the Haoshan Sect, you have the ability to defeat me, the 3rd generation chief. Besides, your clear sky hammer without a soul ring cannot defeat me. How can you claim to be the successor of the Haoshan Sect? You are not overestimating your abilities. That's not necessarily the case. Tang San suddenly launched a sprint towards Tang Long. Tang Long snorted coldly, and his 6th soul ring instantly lit up. The majestic soul power was injected into his clear sky hammer, and there seemed to be a faint electric light flickering. The 6th soul skill, Thunder Hammer. Tang Long's clear sky hammer hit Tang San, carrying a large amount of thunder at the same time, completely blocking Tang San's direction. Ghostly. Tang San relied on the Tang Sect's unique skills and agile body skills to dodge the impact of the Thunder Hammer and was already close to Tang Long. The 3rd soul skill, Spider Web Restraint. Tang San revealed the Blue-Silver Emperor martial spirit, and instantly sent out the spider web woven by the Blue-Silver Emperor to trap Tang Long. Tang Long broke free several times, but it felt tighter and tighter, and the numbness in his body became more obvious. If you win, you can enter the Haoshan Sect. Tang Long said helplessly as he admitted defeat. Tang San tore off the cobweb restraints, pulled Tang Long up from the ground, and prepared to go to the Haoshan Sect with Su Xiao. Wait a minute, he can pass, but I didn't say you can. Tang Long stretched out his hand to stop Su Xiao again. Brother, we are together. Su Xiao explained. Tang Long looked serious and said, Please show your clear sky hammer. Holy Light Dragon Transformation. Su Xiao simulated the Dragon King Clear Sky Hammer, and the momentum he exuded completely suppressed Tang Long, making him unable to doubt that this was not the real Clear Sky Hammer. Tang Long estimated that Su Xiao's strength was far superior to him, and if he continued to stop him, he would only be humiliating himself. And the Haoshan Hammer with the dragon pattern is definitely a top-notch mutated martial spirit. I didn't expect these 2 guys Aunt Yuehua talked about to be so strong. Then, under the leadership of Tang Long, the 3 of them went to the main peak of Haoshan Sect, but there was only an iron chain between the mountains as the only way to pass. Moreover, several of the peaks of the Haoshan Sect are extremely high, and the natural temperature is lower. The iron chains are all covered with a layer of frost. Tang Long was already familiar with these Haoshan Sect disciples, and he seemed to look at Su Xiao and Tang San with some worry. But it was seen that the 2 of them were as light as swallows and extremely stable. With the blessing of the ghost shadow, they could pass through the iron chain covered with ice. Suddenly, there was a violent gust of wind in the sky. The 3 of them looked along and saw that it was a big bird. It was visually estimated that it was a 1,000-year soul beast. 9,000 years of magic eagle. Tang Long reminded. The magic eagle is huge, and as long as it hits the iron chain, Su Xiao and the others will inevitably fall into the abyss. W+WBW at Dragon King's Eyes of Light. Purple magic light. Su Xiao and Tang San's eyes each emitted golden and purple rays of light. This is because they absorbed the soul bones of their heads and evolved their attack methods with the purple demon eyes. After being hit by the golden and purple rays of light, the magic eagle screamed and fell into the cliff. When the soul beast fell, it happened to be too close to Tang Long, causing the sole of his foot to slip and tilt under the iron cable, and he was already on the verge of toppling. The first soul skill, Entanglement. Tang San released Blue Silver Emperor, wrapped around Tang Long's waist, and used Controlling Crane and Capturing Dragon to pull him back. Tang Long took a long breath and sighed, "Thank you." The three of them then continued to move forward and soon arrived at the main peak of the Haoshan sect. In front of the main peak, a total of 8 people, including Tang Yuehua, were already waiting for them. The man standing at the front looks somewhat similar to Tang Hao. He should be Tang San's uncle, the contemporary leader of the Haoshan sect, and Tang Xiao, who is titled Shaoshan. Tang San and Su Xiao, sons of Tang Hao, pay their respects to the sect master. "Get up," Tang Xiao said softly, as if he didn't have much resentment about what happened to Tang Hao back then. "Thank you, sect master." Su Xiao and Tang San replied in unison. Tang Xiao waved his hand and said, "You don't have to be so polite. You both can call me uncle." "Yes, uncle." Tang Xiao looked at Su Xiao and Tang San carefully, and it was obvious that Tang Yuehua had informed Tang Xiao of their identities in detail. "Xiao San, after you awaken the Blue Silver Emperor martial spirit, you become more like Ah Yin." Tang Xiao sighed. Tang San was slightly startled and asked doubtfully, "Uncle, do you also know my mother?" "It's all in the past, so don't mention it." Tang Xiao's tone seemed to be filled with regret. At this time, Su Xiao suddenly knelt down, slowly opened the wooden box in his hand and said, "Uncle, this is what Uncle Hao asked me and Shaosan to bring back." In the box, 2 top-quality soul bones glowed brightly. Tang Xiao had a complicated expression after seeing it, and murmured in a low voice, "Brother Hao." As the leader of the Haoshan sect, Tang Xiao naturally knew these 2 sect-inherited soul bones. Since Tang Hao is still alive now, he must have obtained the soul bones by forcibly removing them, and at least he will fall from the title Duluo. At this time, Tang San also knelt down next to Su Xiao and explained, "Father said that he has no face to meet the ancestors of the sect, so he wants me to atone for his sins on his behalf. I hope that the sect master and all the elders will agree with me, Tang San, to recognize my ancestor and return to the sect. And me, Uncle Hao has treated me like his own son since I was a child, so I will be responsible for making up for his sins." Tang Xiao hesitated before speaking, and angrily waved his hand and looked at the 6 elders. "How do you think this matter should be handled, elders?" Su Xiao and Tang Hao, the 3rd-generation father of Tang dynasty, have recognized their ancestors and returned to their clan, and I ask all the elders to do so." The 2 brothers said again sincerely. "No," the 6th elder objected strongly. "Can these 2 brats save the lives of my son and so many other people with just a few words?" At this time, many members of the Haoshan clan had come to watch, and Su Xiao and Tang San also had their own thoughts in mind. Uncle Hao said that my uncle had become a titled Duluo 10 years ago, and the 6 elders had reached the Contra realm 20 years ago. 20 years have passed, and the 6 elders have probably broken through to the title of Duluo after practicing in seclusion. So now Haoshan sect is not a 7-titled Duluo. If Uncle Hao doesn't abandon his cultivation, he will be a Duluo with 8 titles, so why should he be afraid of Wuhun Palace? At this time, Tang Xiao handed 2 pieces of soul bones inherited by the sect to the 6 elders, pleading, "You should know the result of a titled Duluo taking his own soul bones. This is Brother Hao's sincerity, and I ask the elders to forgive me." Quote, although the 6th elder's brows have softened a lot, his expression is still angry. "If Tang Hao hadn't provoked Wuhun Palace, I wouldn't be able to swallow this breath." 6th elder, can you listen to me? Su Xiao suddenly spoke. Everyone looked at Su Xiao. The strength of this young junior, described by Tang Yuehua and Tang Long, was enough to shock the 7-titled Duluo. Although he is a member of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon sect, Tang Hao treats him like his own son, and Su Xiao is willing to recognize his ancestor and return to the sect for Tang Hao, which shows Su Xiao's character. I am afraid this is Tang Hao's unique skill to lead the Haoshan sect. The reason for leaving it to Lydia Su. The son of the sixth elder died in battle with the Wuhun palace. Then, the sixth elder, your enemy should be the Wuhun palace. But the trouble was caused by my uncle Hao, and Xiaosan and I are willing to accept your punishment. But please understand that Wuhun palace is so ambitious that even without me, Uncle Hao, Wuhun palace would attack Haoshan sect for other reasons. Quote. Su Xiao's words directly touched the hearts of the Haoshan clan members. Although the Haoshan clan suffered numerous casualties in the war that year, the Haoshan clan had never held a grudge against Tang Hao. Blood debts should always be paid with blood only by the Wuhun palace. Well, since you two brothers are willing to take the punishment for Tang Hao, as long as you two can take a blow from each of us 6 old men, we will recognize you. The sixth elder stated the conditions. Su Xiao and Tang San looked at each other. 6 titled Duluo, each with 1 hammer, 6 hammers in total. As long as we can recognize our ancestors and return to our clan, we are willing. Su Xiao and Tang San shouted in unison. Although both of them have various trump cards, they have already learned about title Duluo level attacks. As a top soul master, as long as you step into the realm of title Duluo, even an 89th level soul Duluo is completely different from someone who has just stepped into the realm of title Duluo. If that's the case, then I want to give you this first blow to let me vent my anger. As he spoke, the sixth elder showed off his clear sky hammer, which carried blazing fire. It was obviously a mutated clear sky hammer. A 10,000-year spirit ring lit up behind the sixth elder, and he hit 2 hammers in a row directly at Su Xiao and Tang San. After being possessed by Su Xiao and Tang San's martial souls, they used their soul power to block the sixth elder's hammer. Even so, the powerful clear sky hammer knocked them away. There are 5 more hammers. Su Xiao gasped. On the other hand, there was blood overflowing from the corner of Tang San's mouth. His soul power was not as good as Su Xiao's and he was slightly injured. Second hammer. The great elder also flashed a 10,000-year soul ring. Su Xiao and Tang San need to think of some solutions, otherwise the two of them will most likely be seriously injured after this blow, and they will definitely not be able to survive the 6th blow. Xiaosan, open the soul bone. Su Xiao shouted. Tang San also understood that the 8 spider spears appeared behind him, and Su Xiao also opened the dark gold terror claw bear's soul bone to resist. Bang! There were 2 more loud noises. Su Xiao and Tang San held on, but their soul bones were slightly broken. Both of them actually possess external soul bones. After seeing the strength of the 2 men, the second elder who took action at this time was not prepared to show mercy. He actually used the 8th soul skill. Boom! The dull bombardment resounded throughout the entire Haoshan sect's main peak, and even the Haoshan sect disciples who were watching the battle were shocked. In the end, Su Xiao and Tang San managed to hold on, but their external soul bones had been shattered, and the heartbreaking pain was indescribable. But being able to recognize and return to the clan on behalf of Tang Hao, no matter how painful it is worth it. It's my turn. The third elder summoned his clear sky hammer with a smile, but it could be seen from his momentum that he would never show mercy. The 4th soul skill, Blue Silver Cage. The 3rd soul skill, Holy Light Divine Dragon Transformation. Su Xiao and Tang San supported each other, and both of them added some defense to each other to face the next blow from the third elder. Collapse. The clear sky hammer that fell from the sky directly reduced the square to rubble. When the smoke and dust dispersed, Su Xiao and Tang San were still standing strong despite being embarrassed. That golden and blood-red aperture is the realm. Externally attached soul bones and domains are extremely rare things throughout the Soul Master world, and they actually appeared in 2 young men who were just 18 years old at the same time. Dragon King Realm, open. Killing God Realm, open. Su Xiao and Tang San increased each other's attributes by 40% before blocking the third elder's attack. Now only the 4th elder and the 5th elder are left. Su Xiao stood in front of Tang San. He knew that Tang San's only remaining trump card was the Blue Silver Emperor's leg bone, which they were still waiting to use to resist the 6th elder's final blow. I will carry the 4 elders' 2 hammers by myself. Su Xiao took the initiative. The 4th elder's 10,000-year soul ring lit up, and the Haoshan hammer in his hand changed from 1 to 2, then 4, and finally 16. Grandpa, show mercy, Tang Long begged. The fourth elder is Tang Long's grandfather, and his clear sky hammer with thunder and lightning attributes was passed down from the fifth elder. 16 thunder Hoshin hammers formed dense thunder clouds in the sky, like a punishment from heaven. But Su Xiao didn't feel any fear at all. Instead, he took the initiative to move forward and stood in the middle of thunder. Bring it on. I saw the clear sky hammer falling like 5 thunders, and Su Xiao slowly raised his left hand. This is one of his strongest trump cards currently, especially after receiving the blessing of a large number of dragon souls after entering the Dragon Clan's secret realm. He had the confidence to give titled Duluo a try. Dragon God's Claw. A bloody dragon king roared into the sky, showing no fear of the thunder. I saw lightning flashing in the clouds, and the figure of the bloody dragon king was looming. After several struggles, I heard a crack of thunder, and the fourth elder actually took the initiative to withdraw the clear sky hammer, his face still a little ugly. Tang Long, you boy, let me deal with you. The fourth elder cursed. Obviously the fourth elder was upset, but he didn't expect that Su Xiao could be so strong. The dragon divine claw just now was equivalent to a full blow from a contra. The fourth elder almost lost his face in front of the whole sect because of Tang Long's advice. Now only the fifth elder is left without a hammer. According to what Su Xiao and Tang San know, the fifth elder's clear sky hammer has no mutation properties and is an absolute hammer of power. Now that Su Xiao's soul power has been drained, he can only use soul bone skills at most, and Tang San is also seriously injured, and it is very slim to resist the attack of the fifth elder. Now we can only fight with our lives, Su Xiao said. I saw the fifth elder summoning the giant clear sky hammer, which weighed nearly 10,000 kilograms by visual inspection. The strong wind generated by just swinging the clear sky hammer was already difficult for ordinary people to resist. Su Xiao and Tang San closed their eyes tightly, accepting this final punishment. But the result, the two of them only felt that their foreheads seemed to have been flicked, but they did not receive that strong attack. They opened their eyes and saw a pocket clear sky hammer in the fifth elder's hand, which seemed to be a toy for a child. The fifth elder smiled slightly. You two brothers are not bad. You are more talented than Tang Xiao and Tang Hao. It would be stupid for our Hoshin sect not to recognize such outstanding clan members. These words proved that Su Xiao and Tang San were recognized by the Hoshin sect, and also meant that they had fulfilled their wish to recognize their ancestor and return to the clan on behalf of Tang Hao. After Su Xiao and Tang San gradually recovered in Hoshin sect, Tang Xiao summoned them. Ah Xiao, Xiaosan, with your 2 talents, your future achievements are hard to estimate. Staying in Hoshin sect will undoubtedly restrict your cultivation. Why not go back to Shrek Academy? Yuehua has already told me that the master is a very good teacher. Su Xiao and Tang San also had the same idea. After all, they had obtained the 5-year agreement made by Dai Mubai and others in Tiando City. Now that 5 years are coming, it's time for them to return to Shrek Academy. After that, they have to pick up the 2 girls they have been thinking about. But I hope that you two can meet my 3 conditions. First, practice to Soul Duluo within 10 years. Second, kill at least 1 titled Duluo from Wuhun Palace to avenge the dead members of my Hoshin sect. Third, and the most important thing is to obtain 100,000-year soul ring. Afterwards, Su Xiao and Tang San said goodbye to Hoshin sect and headed to Shrek Academy. Tiando City. Although Tang San and Su Xiao were studying in Yuehua sect, Tang San did not return to Shrek because of his identity. However, Su Xiao returned to Shrek frequently, and the entire Tiando City knew that Su Xiao was back. At the same time, Su Xiao also got the news of the 5-year agreement from Flanders. Su Xiao and Tang San had already changed into gorgeous clothes and headed to Shrek's gate. But before they entered, they saw a commotion in front of Shrek's gate. Where did it come from? Do you know this is Shrek? The student guarding the door said arrogantly. Ma Hongjun smiled slightly. Of course I know. I am your old senior. Have you heard of Evil Fire Phoenix Ma Hongjun? I was the one who led the academy to defeat the Wuhun Temple representative team and win the championship 5 years ago. The student guarding the gate scratched his head and said, you are already the 67th person to pretend to be a senior this month. Don't you just want to see Senior Su Xiao? To tell you the truth, Senior Su Xiao has not been back for a year. Ha ha ha, Fatty, your appearance is actually despised by your junior fellow students. Hearty laughter sounded from behind Ma Hongjun. The blonde young man held the hand of a young girl in black dress. This pair of handsome men and women were naturally Dai Mubai and Zhu Zuqing. At this time, two women with extraordinary temperament came over. One of them was sweet and elegant, and the other was charming and seductive. It's Ning Rongrong and Meng Yiren. Xiao San, we came at the right time. We are almost all here, except Xiao Ao. Looking at the other four people who were very attractive, and then looking at the fat Ma Hongjun, the student guarding the gate still didn't believe them. Junior, how do you trust us? Dai Mubai asked awkwardly. Unless, show me your martial arts spirits. The student thought he could make these scammers retreat, but he didn't expect that they would all possess martial arts spirits. The light of the soul ring shines in front of Shrek's gate. White tiger, phoenix, snake staff, netherworld cat and 9 treasure glazed tower. You are really seniors and seniors. The juniors first changed from fear to admiration. At this time, Su Xiao suddenly fell from the sky, patted his junior on the shoulder and said, Junior, since you know them, why don't you inform the dean quickly? Senior Su Xiao, the student exclaimed again, his eyes lighting up when he saw Su Xiao. In the Shrek team, Su Xiao and Tang San are undoubtedly the most dazzling, especially in the previous year. Su Xiao frequently appeared at Shrek to teach the younger students, and has become the idol that everyone aspires to in Shrek. Ah Xiao, who is this? Dai Mubai looked at Tang San, whose appearance changed drastically and asked. Before Su Xiao could answer, Tang San took the initiative and said, Boss Dai, I am Tang San. At this time, Ma Hongjun suddenly hugged Tang San and said, Third brother, of course we can recognize you. Boss Dai is joking with you. A Xiao has already explained to us that he has indeed become more handsome, but the gap between me and brother Jun is still quite big. Ma Hongjun's words made everyone laugh. But at this moment, suddenly a big man ran towards everyone. Brother Ah Xiao, young master. It's Tyrone. Tyrone gave a strong gorilla bear hug, and his tall figure directly hugged the two of them. I can't breathe. Su Xiao struggled. Tai Lung embarrassedly let go of the two of them, scratched his head and said guiltily, I miss you so much. Behind Tai Lung's huge height, there is a girl with cat ears. Brother Ah Xiao, third brother. Tina said shyly. 5 years have passed, and Tina has adapted to human society again, and has become an excellent soul master, and is about to break through to soul master. Tina, if Tailong dares to bully you, I can't spare him. Su Xiao pretended to threaten Tailong. Brother Ah Xiao, it's too late for me to spoil Tina. She is the only one who bullies me. Tai Lung's expression was filled with happiness. Everyone present could see the relationship between Tai Long and Tina. Since Su Xiao and others left, the heavy responsibility of taking care of Tina fell on Tai Long. The two fell in love for a long time, and they came together naturally. No, Tai Lung actually has such a lovely girlfriend, why am I still single? Ma Hongjun sighed. Looking at the people in Shrek back then, all of them were in couples, only Ma Hongjun was still single, and he couldn't help but look at Meng Yiren, who was also single. Go away, you're fat and small, I don't like you. Meng Yiren's answer was straightforward and decisive. Ma Hongjun could only sigh and walk away silently, but as a member of Shrek, a group of schoolgirls immediately surrounded him. At this moment, Ma Hongjun seemed to stand up again. Back then, in the decisive battle at Wuhun Academy, we defeated the Angel Saint. Naturally, your brother Jun and I had to help. Listen to me bragging to you. No, listen to me describing the details in detail. Ma Hongjun began to show off. Su Xiao and others went to Luerlong's cabin, where everyone gathered when they were still at Shrek Academy. When Su Xiao and others arrived, Yu Xiaoging, Luerlong, Flender and Zhao Wuji were already there. After Ma Hongjun finished bragging to the school girls, he spread his phoenix wings and came here amidst cheers. It's been 5 years, teacher, I miss you so much. Ma Hongjun jumped directly into Flanders' arms. Hongjun, you've gained weight again. Flanders said slightly teasingly. After everyone chatted for a while, they realized that as teachers, the 4 of them, Yu Xiaoging, must be most concerned about their cultivation and realm. Dai Mubai, 63rd level Soul Emperor. Zhu Zuqing, level 60 Soul Emperor. Ma Hongjun, level 57 Soul King. Ning Rongrong, level 60 Soul Emperor. Meng Yiren, level 61 Soul Emperor. Tang San had just reached level 60 and had not yet had time to obtain the 6th spirit ring. As for Su Xiao, he had already reached level 67. Hongjun, have you just been eating all these years? Why haven't you reached the Soul Emperor status yet? Flanders was a little dissatisfied. After 5 years, the disciples he taught were still not as good as Yu Xiaoging's 2 evil disciples. Ma Hongjun responded with a smile. He was not in a very depressed mood. It was obvious that Flanders was right and did not practice hard. At this time, Su Xiao quietly came to Ma Hongjun and said, "Fat man, if you don't work hard to practice, you will be single all your life." "A Xiao, you're not lying to me, are you?" Ma Hongjun said suspiciously. "Do you think I lied to you?" Ma Hongjun recalled that as long as Su Xiao showed this expression and said what he said before, it seemed that everything came true. "Okay, Xiao, I will definitely work hard to practice, and I will definitely be able to break through to the Soul Emperor within half a year." Su Xiao nodded and said, "Fat man, work hard for your happiness." Ma Hongjun was instantly inspired, but Lu Erlong's expression was a little dull because neither Nangong Yu nor Xiao Wu came back. At this time, Zhao Wuji suddenly asked, "Rongrong, didn't Oscar come back with you?" Ning Rongrong's expression was complicated, and she didn't know how to explain it for a moment. Xiao Ao laughed to become stronger. "Rongrong, you don't have to feel guilty. Just tell me what happened." Su Xiao comforted. Because of the ancestral training of the 7 Treasures Glazed Sect, the spouse of a soul master who inherits the martial spirit of the 7 Treasures Glazed Pagoda must be a powerful fighting soul master. If you violate this rule, you must defeat 2 titled Duluo and join forces, sa Xiao Ao. Ning Rongrong explained with a tearful voice. After hearing this, everyone was worried about Xiao Ao. How could an auxiliary soul master practice to be as good as a combat soul master? Rongrong and everyone, don't worry, Xiao Ao will definitely come back safely. Su Xiao comforted. The others also nodded. After all, Xiao Ao had given them too many surprises. Maybe he could really become an auxiliary soul master who could fight for love. Everyone chatted for a few more words, and Su Xiao and Tang San expressed their thoughts. "Teacher, Aunt Erlong, Xiaosan and I want to bring Yuer and Xiaowu back. Now we have the ability to protect them." After Su Xiao mentioned Nangong Yu and Xiaowu, everyone was moved, especially Lu Erlong. Over the past 5 years, she had missed her 2 daughters all the time. Yu Xiaoging nodded and said, "Well, it's time for us Shrek to reunite. Xiaosan, you can also take this opportunity to obtain the 6th soul ring." Su Xiao and Tang San rested in Shrek for a few days, and one morning they set out for the Stardow Forest. After entering the Stardow Forest, Tang San directly launched the Blue-Silver Domain. This is another realm of his, obtained by awakening the Blue-Silver Queen, and any blue-silver grass within the range can convey information to him. Blue-Silver Field, explore. With Tang San as the center, light blue light emitted, and then all the information that blue-silver grass could detect within the range was transmitted. After a moment, Tang San's expression darkened and he said, "Ah Xiao, there are people from Wuhun Palace here, they should be preparing to hunt the soul beasts. They are probably here to find Yuer and Xiao Wu. There may be titled Duluo in the Wuhun Palace team." Su Xiao guessed. "What should we do?" Tang San asked. Su Xiao thought about it. In a head-to-head fight with Wuhun Palace, he and Xiao San alone would definitely not be the opponent of the 2 titled Duluo. What's more, Wuhun Palace wants to find Nangong Yu and Xiao Wu. In their eyes, the 2 girls are 200,000-year-old soul beasts, and the one with the lowest cultivation level in the team must be at the Soul Emperor level. Xiao San, are Huliena and the other 3 members of the Golden Generation in the Wuhun Palace team here? Tang San expanded the blue-silver domain again and nodded. Huliena, Xie Yu and Yan are all here. Su Xiao snapped her fingers. It seemed that she had to sacrifice Tang San's appearance. Xiao San, you and Huliena must have known each other in the Killing City. Your appearance and temperament have changed drastically now. If you didn't show the Blue-Silver Emperor's martial spirit, they wouldn't have guessed it was you. After Tang San heard about it, he probably understood Su Xiao's plan, but how was Su Xiao going to join him? Su Xiao explained. Xiao San, you don't have to worry about me. My 6th soul skill can teleport 3 miles if I move forward at full strength. As long as you find Yuer and Xiao Wu and send out the fireworks signal, I will appear in the blink of an eye. Tang San believed in Su Xiao, so he went to the Wuhun Palace camp alone. As expected, he was discovered by Yi Yan. At the same time, relying on Hu Liena's relationship and protection, Tang San stayed in the Wuhun Palace team under the pseudonym Tang Yin. And as expected, Zhu Duluo and Ghost Duluo were also in this team. Su Xiao didn't know any of these situations, and could only rely on some special marks left by Tang San to keep up with Wuhun Palace's whereabouts. 2 days later, Wuhun Palace has penetrated deep into the center of the Star Forest, the Lake of Life. At this moment, Xiao Wu was standing on the shoulders of Ming, the 100,000-year-old Titan ape. She already knew about the arrival of Wuhun Palace. Whoosh, bang, Tang San released the signal fireworks, and Xiao Wu recognized Tang San even though his appearance changed drastically. Brother, you are finally here. In an instant, the change in Tang San's camp caught everyone in Wuhun Palace off guard. At this time, Ming also took action against everyone else in Wuhun Palace. The Titan giant ape is a powerful spirit beast, let alone a 100,000-year-old spirit beast equivalent to a titled Duluo. With 2 punches from Ming and a frightening roar, the Wuhun Palace suffered heavy losses. Little rabbit, he actually has a helper. Zhu Duluo and Ghost Duluo attacked the Titan ape at the same time, but they did not expect that a 100,000-year soul beast that was more terrifying than the Titan ape would appear from the Lake of Life. The legendary soul beast, the king of the Star Doe Forest. A 100,000-year soul beast, Azure Bull Python. When the 2 titled Duluo and the 200,000-year soul beasts were fighting in a melee, Yan and Xiaoyu also led the rest of the spirit hall to surround Tang San and Xiao Wu. In addition to most of the people in Wuhun Palace being soul emperors, there is also a soul saint. Hu Liena, who had previously defended Tang San, stood blankly on the spot, her eyes empty. If Xiaoyu hadn't pulled her away in time, Hu Liena might have died under the residual power of the Azure Bull Python's release. Tang Yin is Tang San, Hu Liena muttered to herself. At this moment, Tang San has released his blue-silver emperor spirit, and his identity has been revealed. Kill Tang San. Yan took the lead in attacking. Yan already had a crush on Hu Liena, but Hu Liena had always been attracted to Tang Yin. Now it was proven that Tang Yin was Tang San, and Tang San must be killed for both the spirit hall and Yan himself. Swish! Suddenly a golden light flashed, and under such impact, all the soul kings outside the Wuhun Palace fell down. The 6th soul skill, Dragon King Flash Kill. Su Xiao's whole body shone with light golden light, blocking Tang San and Xiao Wu. Smelly Xiao, why did you come here? Xiao Wu scolded with a smile. Su Xiao, Tang San and Xiao Wu have known each other since they were 6 years old at Notting Junior College. Although Xiao Wu has been quarreling with Su Xiao, the friendship between the two is absolutely undeniable. This is not just right. Xiao San, you take Xiao Wu away first, and I will leave this group of trash to me. Su Xiao was very relaxed in the middle of the battle. Tang San was a little hesitant, but Wuhun Palace's current target was Xiao Wu, and he had to take Xiao Wu away, and Su Xiao's strength was worthy of trust. Blue-silver Emperor's left leg bone, soul bone skill, flying. Tang San held Xiao Wu and jumped into the air. Everyone in Wuhun Hall wanted to stop him, but felt that all his soul skills were blocked. Dragon King Realm, open. Within 30 meters, Su Xiao had already enveloped Yan and the others, and Tang San and Xiao Wu had already left. Su Xiao, you are seeking death. Yan said angrily. Ha, my dear son, should you call me something? Yan's face darkened. He wanted to get back the humiliation he suffered 5 years ago. Under the Dragon King's domain, Su Xiao's attributes will increase by 30%, and all attributes of the enemy will be weakened by 30%. What Su Xiao has to face now are 10 Soul Emperors, as well as the 3 Golden Generation members of Wuhun Palace, and the Soul Saint. First deal with you group of shrimp soldiers and crab generals. I saw the dark gold Terraclaw bear external soul bone appearing on Su Xiao's right hand. As his soul power increased, the external soul bone became more and more powerful. Sky-tearing claw. 3 golden claw marks appeared in the air, and Su Xiao's target was the 10 Soul Emperors. I saw 10 powerful Soul Emperors with blood bursting out from their chests, and a faint golden light could be seen at the extremely deep wounds. These soul emperors screamed in pain, seeing that they could no longer survive, and gradually became silent. With just one move, Su Xiao killed 10 soul emperors instantly. Yan, who was shouting just now, seemed to recall that unbearable memory. The feeling of surrender that should have been eliminated by Bibi Dong suddenly appeared again, and she suddenly knelt on the ground, her whole body unable to help but tremble. Xie Yu knew that she was no match for Su Xiao, and Juliana was in such a state that the two of them could not launch the martial arts fusion skill at this time. Now all their hopes could only be pinned on the Cardinal Soul Saint. The 7th soul skill, Martial Soul True Body. This soul saint had 7 soul rings rising from his feet, 3 of which were 10,000-year soul rings. He was a powerful soul saint, but it was a pity that he met Su Xiao. The 5th soul skill, Dragon King Shock Realm. Su Xiao's white gold patterned soul ring released its majestic soul power and condensed a halo of light, which directly trapped the soul saint and the martial soul's true body. Then several roaring bright holy dragons attacked him. In just 5 seconds, although the soul saint was not dead, he was seriously injured, and even his martial soul was broken. 5 years have passed, and this guy has become even more perverted. Xie Yu said in disbelief. Although in the finals 5 years ago, Xie Yu had already realized the huge gap between him and Su Xiao. But at that time, he still looked at Su Xiao's level, but now he can no longer feel Su Xiao's limits. Just releasing the 5th soul skill severely injured a soul saint. Now only Juliana and the other 3 were left. Su Xiao smiled mischievously and hit Yan again with a king of the world. Yan's consciousness began to blur. Before he fainted, he saw Su Xiao's figure and couldn't help but say, "Father Su." As for Xiaoyu and Juliana, Su Xiao did not harm the 2 siblings because Juliana helped Tang San. Leave Wuhun Hall as soon as possible. Any plans I have in Bibi Dong will not succeed. Su Xiao left swaggeringly. As for the battle between a titled Duluo and a 100,000-year-old soul beast, it was no longer something Su Xiao could participate in. What's more, Ju Duluo and Ghost Duluo used martial soul fusion skills, and they will definitely be affected if they don't leave. Su Xiao, go and save Tang San. The 2 elders also ambushed 2 soul saints outside. Xie Yu reminded. Although the 2 sides are hostile to each other, Su Xiao let him, Juliana and Yan go today. Xiaoyu doesn't like to owe others favors, not to mention that he is already disgusted with some of Wuhun Palace's practices. After Su Xiao heard this, he used the flying skills given to him by the Tianlong horse soulbone to quickly catch up with Tang San and Xiao Wu. With him here, he can definitely change Xiao Wu's fate, but... where are you? At this moment, although Tang San and Xiao Wu did not encounter the soul saint ambushing in the spirit hall, they encountered another trouble, a 10,000-year-old man-faced demon spider. With the ferocity of the man-faced demon spider, it would not give up hunting Tang San and Xiao Wu. Tang San couldn't care less about this trouble at the moment and could only use all his strength to kill the 10,000 years man-faced demon spider. When Tang San's soul power was mostly consumed, an eerie laughter came from the woods. The mantis stalks the cicada, and the oriole follows behind. I didn't expect to catch this 100,000-year soul beast and the son of Houshan all at once. The 2 soul saints had discovered Tang San and Xiao Wu early in the morning, and only appeared at this moment after they had eliminated the man-faced demon spider. Tang San and Xiao Wu supported each other, and the 2 soul saints one behind the other had completely blocked their way. Just when Tang San was about to launch a resistance, suddenly a bloody dragon king bared his teeth and claws in the sky and charged towards one of the soul saints. A mere oriole is worthy of hurting my brother Tang San. Su Xiao's voice rang in the air. Dragon Claw. The bloody dragon king directly devoured the soul saint, and the opponent was unable to even make any counterattack under the shock of the dragon's power, and was killed on the spot. The other soul saint was completely shocked. Of course he knew the strength of the dead soul saint, but he was killed instantly. He just wanted to escape and survive. Where to run? Dragon Emperor Houshan Hammer. Su Xiao once again used the Holy Light Divine Dragon to transform the Houshan Hammer with dragon patterns, and used the 9 Ultimate Houshan technique to strike it out, hitting the soul saints back hard. Moreover, he stepped on the ghost shadow, and with the blessing of the soul bone of the Tianlong horse, he also carried the Dragon King domain, and with 9 consecutive hammers, he once again eliminated a soul saint. Originally, if you had fought back, you would have had a chance to survive, but I didn't expect you to be so cowardly and beaten to death with a hammer. Is this the fate of following the spirit hall? It's so miserable. After Su Xiao eliminated the 2 soul saints, he returned to the original place. At this time, Tang San had already begun to absorb the soul ring of the 10,000-year-old man-faced demon spider. And because Tang San's 6th spirit ring comes from this 10,000-year-old man-faced demon spider, his 8 spider spears will also be strengthened again. Tang San absorbed the spirit ring, while Su Xiao and Xiao Wu protected him. Su Xiao asked softly, "Xiao Wu, do you know where you went?" When she heard Su Xiao mentioning Nangong Yu, Xiao Wu was slightly startled and seemed a little apprehensive. After hesitating for a moment, she explained, "Ah Xiao, Nangong Yu is of great significance to the entire Star Do Forest and even all the soul beasts. Now that her identity has been discovered, it is impossible to return to the human world." Su Xiao is not doubtful about this answer. Nangong Yu's body is the Emperor's auspicious beast, the 3-eyed golden eagle, and she is the destiny of the Star Do Forest. And as long as Nangong Yu is by his side, the cultivation speed of the other soul beasts will increase several times. This is also the reason why Nangong Yu can transform into a human being with only a 1,000-year soul beast. I can protect Yuer, Xiao Wu, tell me where she is, and I will bring her back no matter what. Moreover, Yuer has transformed into a human form. As long as she practices at level 100, she can break through the shackles of soul beasts and lifespan. You should know. Su Xiao requested. Xiao Wu is still very hesitant. Regardless of whether it is for the sake of Star Do Forest or Su Xiao, she thinks they should be prevented from meeting. Ah Xiao, Nangong Yu has a very powerful soul beast protecting her. It is so powerful that you can't imagine. Even the most powerful human being, a 99-level titled Duluo, can't hurt her. Please don't worry. Quote. Su Xiao shook her head. As Nangong Yu, it was not an exaggeration to let all the soul beasts in the Star Do Forest protect her, but did she really like that kind of life? Even if Nangong Yu is willing, Lydia Su must ask clearly in person. Xiao Wu, after Xiao San absorbs the 6th soul ring, you can go back to the academy. Aunt Erlong misses you very much. Su Xiao said. What about you? Xiao Wu knew that since childhood, no matter what Su Xiao wanted, he would do it. Go find Yuer. The most powerful soul beast in the Star Do Forest is none other than the Black Dragon Emperor Tian. I want to see if he can stop the Golden Dragon Spear in my hand. Su Xiao took out the Golden Dragon Spear directly from the Soul Guide, and the momentum from the Golden Dragon King instantly swept through the entire Star Do Forest. Any soul beast can feel the majesty inherited from the Dragon God, and the feeling of Emperor Tian, who is a pure blood dragon, is even more obvious. Deep in the Star Forest. This is the breath of Allah. Dishan's huge dragon body actually trembled. Xiao, how did you know about Dtian's existence? Xiao Wu asked in shock. As the only remaining pure blood dragon in the Star Forest, Dtian has an extraordinary status. Only 100,000-year-old soul beasts know of his existence, and Su Xiao is only an 18-year-old human. It's just a black dragon. Su Xiao's eyes gradually became cold. When the Holy Light Dragon King martial spirit in his body felt the presence of the Golden Dragon Spear, the aura of the ancient Dragon King also affected Su Xiao. At this time, Su Xiao was like an emperor. Although he did not emit a trace of soul power fluctuations, his domineering temperament made people fear him. Su Xiao used the Golden Dragon Spear to draw a boundary around Tang San and Xiao Wu. No soul beast dared to approach, and Tang San had almost absorbed the 6th soul ring. However, Ju Duluo and Ghost Duluo were defeated by the Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape and had already left the Star Do Forest with Xie Yu and the others. Su Xiao flew up to the sky, overlooking the entire Star Forest. He raised the Golden Dragon Spear, and the Holy Light Dragon Emperor appeared. He said majestically, "Where is the Emperor Tian?" Dtian, who was suddenly called out, did not dare to make any move to resist. He transformed into a middle-aged man, quickly flew near Su Xiao, half knelt in the air, and said humbly, "Dtian, pay homage to the Lord. As a pure blood dragon, Dishan has been around for more than 200,000 years, so he can change into human and animal forms at will. Hand over Yuer." Su Xiao pointed at Dtiandao with the golden dragon gun. DTN was stunned for a moment, he didn't understand what Su Xiao was talking about. At this moment, Nangong Yu in the Stardow Forest suddenly shouted, "A Xiao, I'm here, don't hurt DTN." Hearing Nangong Yu's voice, Su Xiao ran straight away without caring about God. DTN was much faster than Su Xiao, but he could only follow behind. Is this the human being that Xiao Jin mentioned? Where did he get the golden dragon spear, and his martial spirit? It has actually been recognized by the Bright Dragon King, one of the 9 Dragon Kings. After Su Xiao saw Nangong Yu, she hugged her directly. She felt relieved at this moment after not seeing her for 5 years. "A Xiao, let me introduce it to you." Nangong Yu pointed at DTN and said. At this time, there were a group of 100,000-year soul beasts led by DTN behind her. Under Nangong Yu's knowledge, these soul beasts saluted Su Xiao with great respect. After all, with the double suppression of the Dragon Emperor and the Golden Dragon Spear, even if Su Xiao was only the Soul Emperor, he could still have an impact on these soul beasts that were more than 100,000 years old. Absolute suppression. "Lord, where did you get this Golden Dragon Spear?" DTN asked. Su Xiao put away the Golden Dragon gun, and the aura of domination over the world disappeared, and returned to his former very friendly appearance. Even if he faced a group of 100,000-year soul beasts, he was not afraid. "This Golden Dragon Spear is my gift to you. It hurts me to see her hitting people with her fists." Su Xiao directly showed off her affection in front of many soul beasts. Su Xiao personally handed the Golden Dragon Spear to Nangong Yu. Her martial spirit was originally the Golden Dragon Spirit, and her strength greatly increased with the Golden Dragon Spear. Afterwards, Su Xiao, Nangong Yu, and the Dishan soul beasts chatted for a while, and unknowingly they also recognized Su Xiao's human identity. Su Xiao looked at Nangong Yu lovingly, held her hand, and stated her purpose. "DTN, I want to bring Yu back to the human world. I can protect her." Hearing what Su Xiao said, DTN and other spirit beasts were a little hesitant. The main reason was that Nangong Yu was responsible for the fate of the Stardow Forest. Once an accident happened, all the spirit beasts would not be spared. "Xiao Jin, you make your own choice." DTN handed over the choice to Nangong Yu. Xiao Jin has always been their name for Nangong Yu. Nangong Yu looked around at the soul beasts who had lived together for thousands of years, and Su Xiao, who fell in love with him at first sight. Nangong Yu closed his eyes and said with all his strength, "I'm sorry DTN, I want to go back to the human world with a Xiao." After hearing what Nangong Yu said, all the soul beasts were a little depressed. "Xiao Jin, according to the human realm, you are already a level 60 soul emperor, and Lord Su Xiao will give you the Golden Dragon gun. Soon you will reach level 100, break through the shackles of the soul beast, and become a beast god. Your destiny will naturally be returned to the entire Stardow Forest." DTN also didn't want Nangong Yu to be burdened too much. While the night was still dark, Su Xiao and Nangong Yu immediately returned to Tiando City. At this moment, the snow jade crown on Su Xiao's head suddenly moved uneasily. Is the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect in trouble? No, Bibi Dong's soul hunting operation is ahead of schedule. What's wrong with a Xiao? Nangong Yu also noticed that Su Xiao seemed to be worried about something. Yuer, teacher and Aunt Erlong's family, the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect, may have been attacked by the Wuhun Palace. I must rush back, Su Xiao explained. I'm with you. Nangong Yu held Lydia Su's hand tightly, not wanting to take a step away from him. Su Xiao hesitated for a while, then nodded in agreement. Su Xiao used the flying ability of the Tianlong Horse Soul Bone to return to the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect at full speed. Bibi Dong's soul hunting operation targeted the 7 Treasures Glazed Sect and the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect. Fortunately, Su Xiao had warned Ning Rongrong long ago, and the 7 Treasures Glazed Sect should be able to avoid this disaster. However, the true Dragon 9 Crowns of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect was absorbed by Su Xiao. Even if the old dragon Yu Yuanjun tried his best, he may not be able to lead the clan to turn defeat into victory. You old guys, wait for me. Su Xiao was very anxious. Those old dragons who had always wanted to introduce their granddaughters to themselves must hold on. At this time, Wuhun Palace's attack on the Blue Lightning Overlord Dragon Sect has begun. Because the defense was not timely, the disciples of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect suffered numerous casualties, and soon everyone in the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect was forced to True Dragon Mountain. Yu Yuanjun, if you lead the sect to surrender to Wuhun Palace, you will be able to save your clan members, and the Great Enshrinement will even grant you the title of Enshrinement Dangdang. Qianjin Duluo persuaded him to surrender. It's just 1,000 paths, Birdman. The Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect is determined to refuse to surrender. A dragon is always a dragon and cannot be like a dog wagging its tail and begging for mercy. The disciples of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect will follow my orders and fight back with all their might. Yu Yuanjun's roar resounded throughout True Dragon Mountain, and the disciples of the Blue Lightning Overlord Dragon Sect were also prepared for a desperate fight. At this moment, a golden light suddenly penetrated the clouds in the originally gray sky. When they saw this light, the clansmen of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect instantly felt their soul power surge, and their aura became countless times stronger. As the light increased, the entire True Dragon Mountain was shrouded in golden light, and the bright Dragon King hovered in the sky. Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Sect disciple, Su Xiao, come and kill the enemy. And the girlfriend that Su Xiao only loves her whole life, Nangong Yu. The golden dragon spear fell from the sky and stabbed Qianjin Duluo directly. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.